Hi, everybody. It's Gene Simmons, and you're not, and you're listening to the Potter Than Hell podcast with Steve, BC, BB, and Dylan. But you knew that, didn't you?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Potter Than Hell podcast. This is your last stop on the crazy train of hard rock and heavy metal. So sit back, buckle in, and hang on. Here we go.
Hey, you Potter Than Hellions. Welcome to the Potter Than Hell podcast. I'm Steve, your host. I'm joined as always by
BC.
And no rather regular co-host this evening besides our keyboard player.
Dylan, I was going to say, what have I, chopped liver?
Maybe. And we're joined this week with our returning guest of this, maybe 3 or 4 times. This guy's been on the show, Chris Granza.
Hello.
And we have our friend here today, Maurice Menichetti. How are you, Maurice?
Good. How are you guys doing?
We are doing great. Maurice is a Potter Than Hell virgin this week, as we do on every something with new guests. We like to get their background and how they got into this kind of music and stuff. Maurice, just cliff notes of how'd you get into this music, and what's your favorite band?
Well, I guess I got into it through my good friend Chris Granza here and Steve Koharski. Favorite band is Iron Maiden. Yes. Peace of Mind, first album.
See that, the best one.
We could debate that another day, but anyways.
Yes, we can.
We may. All right, cool. We went to the M3 Festival. It's a yearly festival in Columbia, Maryland every year. This year was the 10th anniversary. BC and I, of all of our group, were the only ones that have gone all 10 years. And Chris, I think you made 9, right?
9.
Chris did 9.
Correct.
Maurice?
8.
8, okay. I think Dylan was there.
6, 5 maybe?
6 or 5 or 6. And BB's been there, I think, 7 or 8 also. So we're just going to do a review of the M3 Festival. We all went down, BC, myself, and Rob Kelleher went this year, our guys. And Rob couldn't make it tonight. He had a family thing going on. He couldn't make it. Chris went with Maurice and their friend Jay. We had a great time. And but before we get going, though, Chris, you are the bass player in an awesome band called Reach for the Sky, and you guys have a new CD that just came out.
Yes.
Give it a plug.
Record is called Gang Vocals, Pick Slides, and Screams. It's a cross between Social Distortion and Motorhead, if you can kind of label it. Check us out on Facebook, Reach for the Sky, and iTunes and all the streaming apps at Reach for the Sky, all one word.
All right, check it out, you guys. Seriously, I just saw these guys for the first time. Chris's band has been really screwing me for the last couple years because every time they seem to play, they schedule their shows when I'm working, so I don't get to go.
Well, they have access to the fire departments.
They do. They do. I was wondering why he asked me for my work schedule. But I was finally able to check them out a couple weeks ago down at Dillon's College, Marywood University in Scranton, Pennsylvania, and they were great. I thought they were friggin' excellent. So you guys check them out there. Give those guys a shot. Buy their CD. It's really good. Check it out and tell your friends.
Thank you.
No problem, buddy. I would tell you if you sucked.
Well, yeah.
They don't suck. They're very good. Before we get going, we'll do our usual. What's everybody listen to? All right, BC, what do you got going?
I got Babylon AD, the one I picked up that day, or one of the 2 I picked up that day. Blitzkrieg America, maybe. I don't know off the top of my head, but
we'll talk about them later too. Maurice, how about you? What do you listen to these days?
Actually been getting into Ghost, listening to some of the new Ghost songs that are out.
Oh, do they release new tracks for the new album?
Yes,
coming
they
up?
have.
Oh, really?
Rats is the new single.
How is it?
Good.
Oh, I'm going to have
Good.
to check it out. I didn't know they had...
Never a Ghost fan until I saw them open up for Maiden, and definitely been listening to them lately.
They're definitely different.
They are.
Good, though, in a good way. Chris, how about you, buddy?
Picked up the new Bullet Boys, which is pretty good. A lot of non-Bullet Boys kind of tunes on it. And actually listening to my guitar player's solo record, J. Luke, It's About Time. That's the 2 I've been really going back and forth with lately.
Okay, J. Luke's album is good. I did check it out after you told me about it. Very cool album. I've just been kind of listening to a lot of the Gene Vault lately. I was last night when we were recording, I did a podcast with Julian Gill and Ken Keenan from the Kiss FAQ podcast, and Sonny Pooney from Growing Up Rock podcast and Podcast Rock City. So I was listening to a lot of Vault stuff. We did a Vault special. If you guys want to check that out, just the normal places you would check out Kiss FAQ podcast, it would be on there. It was a great time doing that with those guys. So I listened to a lot of Gene Vault stuff and listened to a lot of Deep Purple lately. I've really been rocking the shit out of them. I've been reading Glenn Hughes's book, and it's rather interesting. And but I just been really checking out Deep Purple lately. Good stuff. A lot of good stuff out there. All right, people. Let's go back to Dylan. Thanks, Chris.
I've been getting back into Skid Row a little bit. Heard Piece of Me on the way back from moving my brother out of his apartment, and I've just been delving back into that catalog, specifically the first two albums. I think those are really awesome albums. Not to dismiss any of the albums post-Bach, but I think the riffs are really awesome. I think Sebastian Bach sounds his best in those first two albums. I really love them. They have some cool grindage, good old heavy metal.
Yeah, there's some good stuff. Skid Row's really good. And actually, Sebastian Bach was at M3. We'll get to him Saturday. He played.
Did he yell at the crowd this time?
He did not yell at the crowd this year. He was. He behaved himself.
He was very, very pleasant.
All right. We left at about 9 o'clock in the morning. Myself, BC, and Rob. Chris, you guys, I think ended up maybe 20 miles behind us by the time it was all said and done.
Yeah, we left at 10.
And we stayed at the Hampton Inn in Columbia. It was great. Nice hotel. We went in separate vehicles. By the time we got up there, the parking situation was messed up because when you get your tickets, you're supposed to get a parking pass and pick your parking lot and everything. So we picked parking lot 3 because it's the huge parking lot that we've always parked in. Those guys were behind us, so they peeled off to parking lot 1. So we were going around to parking lot 3 where we were supposed to go. We get there and the friggin' thing's blocked off. So I'm like, BC, just turn around and go back where those guys parked. If they don't even stop for the girl, just drive right in the fucking parking lot. So,
Like you own it.
Yeah. So we did pull them, and they didn't even attempt to stop or check any tickets or anything like that. And so the parking lot was probably 3/4 empty when we got there.
Same way Saturday. I don't know why you have to get a pass if nobody's checking them. I guess.
Yeah. So, but I mean, it was cool. We're in a good parking lot, and those guys had one in. So we, as we do, we like to have a couple beverages before we go into the thing. But we were close enough actually where we could hear the bands really good until
We can see the bands too.
yeah,
on the
pretty
big-
much.
the
Yeah,
big-
you can see the
big
you
screen.
can see the one big screen from the parking lot we were in.
And then we made a new friend next to us. That
We did.
played,
We made a new friend. His name is Jason. His last name is escaping me right now.
It's a long
All we hear is, I think it was Exodus blasting in the car. It was
yeah.
actually louder than the band that we could hear. And then he stopped, and we were bullshitting with him for a while. And so we heard part of Pretty Boy Floyd. You guys went in for the first for Pretty Boy Floyd. How are they, you guys?
I thought they were really good. That's what I really wanted to see them on Friday. Played everything I was expecting. They were better than I expected, actually. It's been a while since I saw them.
Maurice?
I did not see them.
Oh, you did?
I did not.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, just me and Jay went. That's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't go in
Maurice
to
was
see them.
lollygagging at the hotel as usual.
Lollygagging, as you will do.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. They played a pretty good set list. Like you said, pretty much what you would expect. Leather Boys with Electric Toys, 48 Hours, Feel the Heat. Your Mama Don't Know, I Want to Be With You, Rock and Roll's Gonna Set the Night on Fire. And they actually did a cover of Cruise Livewire.
Right. Yeah, they've been
And,
doing that.
So that had to be pretty cool.
It was.
Yeah, we couldn't even hear that because the music was fucking
after-
blasting so loud where we were.
But my thing is that the half-hour set. I think that blows.
I agree with that. I think that maybe cut down on a few bands and give the bands that are playing 45 minutes. At least 45 minutes.
45. Half hour is like.
No, it was the rotating stage this year.
It was the rotating.
better.
Yeah, it wasn't the.
I liked it.
Friday is never two stages.
Yeah, it's
Friday is
just
always
the
one
regular
stage.
stage.
But it does make the band change quicker with the rotating stage. And then Nelson came up next. We did catch part of Nelson.
The very end, yeah.
What did we catch? We caught
Frank Hannon came up.
Frank Hannon came out, and
Pretty good.
a bunch of different guys came out, and we saw them do Garden Party, which was weird. Which was really weird. Then they did a version of Whole Lot of Love. But a bunch of people came out on the stage. I don't know who they all were. It was like a big We Are the World kind of.
Yeah, they were all doing the
I
backing
don't know what the hell they were
vocals.
doing.
I'm sorry, the metal version is We're Stars.
We're stars. I know. I couldn't think of it. But A Whole Lot of Love was a cool version. I thought it was real. They did a really good version of that. For you, Nelson, what do you think overall, Nelson, Chris?
I like them. They're always good. What'd you think?
They weren't bad. I only caught the last 3 songs, but
Now,
Yeah,
did
they sounded good. They sounded
Yeah,
good.
they did. They
they
did
have a
sound good.
Nirvana-inspired banner? Did I see? Like, did they have like
Yes.
the smiley face?
Yeah, they like the smiley
Yeah,
face with the X'd out eye or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you guys saw our posts last week, when you're listening to this, I did post some pictures of the days we were there, and the ones on Friday, I did get a picture of the Nelson backdrop. And it was kind of weird for them, like a weird. I don't know. Don't seem like that kind of visual band that would have that type of.
I think they were trying to fit in.
backdrop.
They're trying to break the stereotype they have.
That could be. That could very well be. Absolutely. Faster Pussycat next. Faster Pussycat was.
Faster Pussycat.
Dead on.
They were.
Yeah.
They were
dead on.
dead on.
Yeah.
Tammy Downs apparently sober these days.
Yes.
He drank water on stage. So
Yeah.
Word on the street is he's sober.
Sounded
Since-
good.
Since
He-
last M3.
Yeah, since last M3.
because he missed last M3.
Pneumonia.
Yeah. And he was not asleep on the stage when the stage turned
Nope.
around.
Nope,
Like
it
it was
works.
the year before.
We give him.
Well, the 2 years before when they played.
You gotta give him that credit because it was what 11 o'clock in the morning. Hey,
That was like 9 o'clock at night for him. Their set list I thought was really good. They did Jack the Bastard, Cat House, Slip of the Tongue, number
Oh, they
one with
did
a
Jack the Bastard.
They did Jack the Bastard. They open up with it. Yeah.
Wow.
Number one with a bullet. You're so vain, which I could always do without that.
We
song.
could all live without that, I think.
yeah,
I like it.
Do you really? That
I like it.
figures you'd like that song.
It's a great tune.
It's a great tune. Don't get me
It is.
wrong.
And a great
but
band
like-
does a cover of it.
They need to.
So
do
that's
something
two. That's 2
different.
points. I'm going to take a point off of you.
Chris and I were going at it all weekend. we had a lot of back and forth ass busting, Chris and I, this weekend. I'd text him. He'd make a comment on Facebook, and I'd answer it like the next day or something.
Yeah. And I'm standing right
was
next to him. He's like, were you there? I'm like, yeah, I was right next to you.
And I was surprised too. They did "Don't Change That Song," which I hadn't seen them do in years.
Holy shit.
House of Pain, Bathroom Wall, Shut Up and Fuck, and Babylon. Well, they just did part of Babylon when they were going off. But I mean, real good set. The band is solid though.
Solid.
The band is really
Yeah.
solid.
Yeah.
Chad Stewart on drums is just a monster drummer, and he's the one that actually saved the show for those guys last year.
Last year, yeah.
Yeah,
He
came
carried the weight for those guys. A couple different people came out and sang, but he sang
First
the
2 songs, I want
yeah.
to say, right?
So, but I mean, he's good, and the bass player stayed on his feet, which was
He looked
good.
good.
He looked good. Which he didn't come crashing into the drum riser.
Stop.
If you guys out there have not seen it, I'll post it on our Facebook page. There's a video of Faster Pussycat playing a club a couple of years ago. It's got to be 3 or 4 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
And
these
it's the
days.
very beginning of the show.
Give me
And the bass player's like so friggin' hammered. And he just, like, he goes to grab the mic or something. He just stumbles and he bails into the friggin' drum riser and boom, down he goes. But the band doesn't miss a beat. The bass tech comes out, grabs the bass, and like he's the bass player now. It's like it was not like the first time that has happened.
No.
Yeah.
Something tells me that was.
Yeah. But if you watch the video, it's so funny, and it's one of them like it's funny every time you see it. So I will.
He didn't get
post
hurt,
that.
so that's why we still.
Yeah. So if I don't have it up by the time that the episode comes out, you guys just look that up. Just put Faster Pussycat bass player wipes out or something like that. It'll come right up. But I mean, I thought they put on a friggin' great set. What do you think, BC?
Definitely a great set. I mean, like you said, they're tight. They've been together, the same lineup for quite some time now. Mm-hmm. And like you said, some great little fresh songs that were thrown in there. Jack the Bastard, I love.
Still no Poison Ivy though.
No, I know. I'm dying for them to do that. That's one of my favorite songs.
They never
Even though it's a hit, they haven't done that in a long time.
They did it on whatever cruise they were recently on. They did Poison Ivy. I saw.
Probably Monsters.
Yeah, but they play a couple shows on these cruises, so that it's not like it's the first
They can,
first only show that they're going to do the whole time.
Yeah,
Like,
sure.
not like they're doing a half hour or something
Yeah,
either.
so I was a little disappointed that they didn't do Porn Star. That's always kind of a cool song when they do that. It's got a good I don't know. I think that's when they first were maybe not when they were first, but when they were dabbling in maybe the little electronica kind of shit.
Yeah,
but it's
not only that,
good song though.
not only that, but they're dabbling in different looks too.
Yeah.
Some of the strange looks.
Yeah, they
there.
were, extra, like, I don't know if they were Nazi'd up or what the hell. They were like, we saw them years ago when they came out, and BC, they're like, oh my
They
God,
come
what
out
the
and
hell is this?
they're all
gonna be?
wearing
It's gonna be
skirts. We're like,
crazy. Yeah. And they did these boots are made for walking on that show.
Yeah, but they did like the boots.
It was like a funeral dirge.
Yeah, it was weird.
And we're looking at each other going, "This is just
what
going to
the-"
suck." And then they busted into one of the
One of the ones out the first album, and we're like, whew.
yeah, it was just like they faked this, totally faked this out.
That was good. That was good though.
Maurice, what did you think of Faster Pussycat?
Solid performance for a band that you never know what you're going to get.
That's true. That's true. They're one of them. They're like I will say, kind of the modern day old Guns N' Roses when you didn't know what was going to happen. The wheels could come off at any point.
We saw them at the first Rocklahoma, and he had a meltdown and a half.
I said.
Really?
You never know
Yes.
what you're going to get. So
They look good though this year.
They
did.
The whole band
Yeah.
looked good.
Yeah.
Did
The
you
bass
notice
player
when
looked really
YNT
good.
was sound checking right behind him that
No.
Timmy Down was turning around asking who was fucking up?
Oh,
and,
no.
And the drummer and the bass player are throwing their heads back like it's the guys behind us.
Oh, no, I
And
didn't
then somebody
notice
said, "YNT, can you give us 5 or 10 more minutes?" You didn't hear that?
No, I didn't hear that.
Yeah, I didn't
Yeah.
know what was going on there. I
Yeah.
did hear that, but I didn't
Yeah, they
realize
were-
what
they
was
were-
going on because I was way far back.
Yeah, they were doing their sound
'Cause I
check,
was in my wrong seat.
and Tammy Down just turns around looking at the drummer like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And he's doing one of these.
See, I didn't notice. I usually notice that shit.
Yeah, I was watching that the whole time.
Either BC would probably beat me up at the time or something. I don't know.
Take it easy on you this year.
The fuck you did. We'll talk about that on the Saturday. On the Saturday.
Oh, Saturday's a different story. Come on.
Then, Chris just mentioned him. The Mighty YNT comes out next. Dave Menichetti still, I think, in
No relation to Maurice, though.
no,
That we know of.
yeah.
Look into it.
Ancestry.
Did I pronounce your name wrong?
I think you butchered it, but
Did
that's
I?
okay.
All right. Well, give
You
us
said
give me the.
Menichetti.
What is it?
Menichetti.
Oh, it is. Oh, it's spelled different though, right? Oh, see.
CH, no K.
I apologize. It is
He's in
Maurice,
rock and roll. He had a
Maurice and Dave Menichetti.
Right, exactly.
Let's start the episode over.
All right, do over. I'll say it again, Menichetti. So, Dylan, you could splice that in there and put in the
Sure,
the
I'll do it right now.
when you do that. YNT comes out. Black Tiger, open up with Black Tiger. They are just a band that just totally fucking rips, I think.
Very underrated band.
Oh my god. And actually, you would love to see them make it big. You do, but you don't because it kind of seems like they're your own band. You go to see them, and there's not a ton of people, and you're just like, it's almost like they're playing in your backyard or something.
They're a hidden gem.
Oh,
They really
absolutely,
are.
absolutely. And it's Sonny Pooney, our good friend. He last time he was on, I think he had just seen them for the 43rd time.
Oh boy!
I think right before he came on with us, and I'm like Sonny, you suck. But
You get to see him close.
I mean, we've seen them probably maybe 4 or 5 times by
I've
now.
seen them in a club.
Yeah, we saw them.
no, I'm talking about Sonny. He gets to see him all the time.
Oh, Sonny's seen them. He's seen them for years too. I mean, we only saw them maybe 4 or 5 years ago. No, actually, they played the first M3.
Yes, they did.
The first M3. Well, the first M3.
Yes.
Yeah, and but then they hadn't played it again for 5 or 6 years, I
Right.
think. But always a great band to see. And even though one of their hits is Mean Streak, that is still a great song to hear and
Kick-ass,
see them do live.
Yep.
Just like when that snare drum kicks in and they just it just takes off. I just absolutely fucking love that song. And they did a couple songs that were kind of unexpected. They did Masters and Slaves. They did Hang 'Em High, which was like holy shit. They did I'll Cry for You, Eyes of a Stranger. They did I'll Cry for You when he dedicated that to actually to his fellow band, the original band members that had
right.
passed
Yeah.
away. And he gave the look up to the sky and stuff like that. That was kind of cool. And I'm Coming Home.
Where they pulled that one
Never
from. I
seen
mean,
them
I know
do
it's
that
off the
one.
new album, right? But
yeah, you never I would have
in a club you'd see them do that.
Yeah, but not.
I think when we went to Allentown to see them with about 20 other people, they played They played that.
That's when that
album.
record first came out, right?
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Off of Face Melter. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, of course, Summertime Girls, and I don't think they've ever ended a show in the last decade without doing Forever, which is just a great song.
Is there a bad YNT song? I don't think there is.
Probably not.
I don't think there is.
I don't think I heard one.
Even on their shittiest day, they sound awesome. And this is a band that is, oh my god, so underrated.
Yes.
But like you said, it's a good thing they did make it huge, and maybe they wouldn't be who they are. I don't know.
I've seen them a bunch of times too. I saw them open up for Twisted Sister.
Really?
Up in Poughkeepsie.
Poughkeepsie, huh?
Yep.
Poughkeepsie?
Yeah, a couple of years ago.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. We haven't seen them besides M3, and we went to see them once in
BB King's.
BB
in New
King's,
York.
which was great. That we were right up front. That was like our own private Y&T show too. Just very, very good band. Like, criminally underrated as the saying goes, but just like really a great band. And
It was a pretty packed house too for BB King's.
It was, but the show was over early that night. Remember, because there was something they were switching the stage over or something like that. We were literally out of that show and at BB King's at like 10 o'clock at night. It was weird. But there was still an opening band too.
Yeah.
So, but it didn't seem like it started any earlier. But they just
Something was
tore
happening.
through the whole set. Something else was going on there, and unfortunately, BB King's is closing.
Yeah.
And,
Is it really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've seen some good shows there. We saw Saxon and Armored Saint there. Really,
I was there.
really cool place. Yeah, you were with us then. Eh?
Yep.
That was when Frank jumped out of the car. That yelled at that guy.
We got your back, Frank.
And
Yelling out of the box.
yeah, I mean you cannot go wrong with Y&T. And actually the next band that comes up, which they're usually closing the night out at M3 on Friday, is Kix. And I was glad this year actually because we've kicked Kix around a little bit
For a few years.
for a few years, and but they're always a great live band. But we had seen them so much, it was just like we needed a break from them. So like we would always be the guys kind of leaving early. We'd watch a couple songs of Kix and then we'd go. But they were the second last band this year, and Tom Kiefer closed the show. But I was even unaware that they were going to do the whole "Blow My Fuse" album. I don't know. Did you guys know about that or no?
No,
Not
not
ahead of
until
time.
Eddie Trunk came out and said it. I was actually turning around and walking up.
I thought they already did that. That's why I was surprised too.
They did it the week before at Penn's Peak.
Oh, okay.
I didn't even hear about it because
But I didn't hear about it
anybody
either.
that went.
Because we were thinking of going, but we're figuring, we're going to see
gonna see
them,
'em, yeah.
the next week. So
Week after that, yeah.
yeah. They opened up with "Can't Stop the Show" from their newest album. They did "Midnight Dynamite" and a favorite of BC's and mine, "Girl Money,"
Girl, money.
Oh yeah.
and then they did the whole "Blow My Fuse" album in its
Which is
entirety,
crank
which I hadn't realized how much I really, really liked that album until they did the whole thing. And I hadn't listened to that album in years. If you see Kix, you're going to hear "Don't Close Your Eyes." You're going to hear "Blow My Fuse." You're going to hear
Cold
Blood. But as an album overall, it was just great to hear that again and to actually see them perform the whole thing live.
Yeah, the red light, green light TNT. To me, that's one of my favorite off that album.
No Ring Around Rosie.
No Ring Around Rosie.
The whole record is
The
good.
whole record's great.
Even though "Close Your Eyes," I didn't mind.
Yeah.
but you hear it so much.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
But thank God they changed the set list though, because
I was gonna say it's nice.
It was getting stale. They were playing
was.
a lot of.
I wasn't even
same
looking
shit all
forward
the
to
time.
seeing them.
I could watch Kiss every year, or Kicks
Me
every
too. I
year.
could watch Kiss. If they would
Kiss
look
is
at
really
the
how it
shirt.
is.
You guys must have missed the last two shows there because they're playing 4 or 5 songs off their new album. So I'm not sure how much more you want them to mix it up, but
Well,
deep subject. That's why we're here.
I don't mind the new stuff. I got the new record. I like it.
It's very good.
I
It's
think
very
it's really good.
They're an awesome band. Like we say, we're Kicked out. It's like, not that we don't want to listen to Kicks, just like when you see a band and you can
Predict what's coming
predict
next.
every move they're going to do, and
Right.
you've seen them too many times.
That's all we're saying.
That's
Mo.
what we're saying.
And I have to say,
bad
I told BC at the end of the show, I said it was rather refreshing to see them close the show, not doing yeah,
Exactly.
because I think that is one of the main reasons why we weren't enjoying Kix so much, because that song was almost the same word for word every year.
That shtick was getting old. Yes,
It
I
was
agree.
definitely getting old. Because when he was dragging the balloons out, I'm like, don't tell me they're going to go into yeah after Dirty Boys. But I figured it was getting late. So then when they didn't do that, I was like, okay, that's...
But you know how many knuckleheads out there are mad because they didn't do that?
Oh, I know.
Oh,
But you got to, variety's the spice of life,
Right.
people. You got to
But
mix it
some
up. You
people
definitely got to mix it
Can't
up.
get over, they didn't do yeah. Oh no,
Right.
oh my God.
But I'll tell you what, they're a band that have a lot of great songs, but their backing vocals are just phenomenal. Their backing vocals are just absolutely great.
Jimmy Chocolate.
Jimmy Chocolate. And by the way, speaking of Jimmy Chocolate, the drummer, I want to thank Maurice again for knocking that drumstick down so I could grab it up off the floor.
You're welcome.
The seat in front of him.
You're welcome.
And I'll tell you what, and that drumstick is in like pristine shape. I think he might have hit like maybe 1 or 2 cymbals with that. There was like 2 little nicks in it. And that's it, like the hand grip, because it's got a little padded hand grip like you would have on your golf club.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, it could be like a lambkin grip or maybe, one of the golf grips on there, but it's like a wrapped, padded grip on his drumsticks. I'll take a picture and show you, Maurice.
You saw it.
He'll let you hold it for a little bit.
I sleep with my nickel McBrain drumstick every night.
I got one of them too. Yeah, so, I mean, just Kicks was just a great show. And speaking of people that we're kind of worn out on, Tom Kiefer played next.
I saw he played your favorite song.
Oh my God!
He doesn't know the first note of it. So
I don't.
I heard it all. I'm like, here we go. He's
I
looking
don't.
like,
Every
what are you talking
time
about?
they start playing that song, I'm like, oh, what's
Here we
this?
go.
And then it's that. It's
You don't recognize the.
I don't know why.
As soon as it comes
Maybe
out.
it's just my brain blocking it out that I don't want to
Once you
hear
start
it.
singing, what would you do?
It's horrible. But like, just like do something different. Like do something that's not so like it just brings the vibe of the whole show down.
Tell us how you really feel.
No, I'm not gonna.
Well, and then I'm the same way with you guys with Kicks. This Tom Kiefer, been there, done that already.
Yeah, he's headlined either the top stage, I think, for maybe the last 3 or 4 years. I mean, good stuff. I mean, real good stuff. And even his solo stuff is good. I would really like to see the Cinderella guys play that stuff. I mean, his band is good and it's tight. I don't think it's going to happen. The set list was good, though. The More Things Change, Last Mile, Bad Seamstress Blues, Falling Apart at the Seams, Long Cold Winter, It's Not Enough, Somebody Save Me, Shake Me, Don't Know What You Got Till It's Gone. He does that, a duet with his wife, I believe she is.
Yes.
And Nobody's Fool, Solid Ground, Night Songs, Coming Home, Shelter Me, with a little help from my friends. And then Gypsy Road. And actually, we left during Little Help from My Friends because
You didn't stay?
I just can't take that song. I can't take it. But then, of course, because he usually ends the show with that, I think. And then they play Gypsy Road. I'm like, fuck. But it still wasn't even worth sitting through that song to see Gypsy Road. But I mean, great set. His band was solid. His guitar player was a really good guitar player. And what'd you guys think, Chris?
I didn't sit and watch them. I watched them up from the lawn, listened to it. I was walking around a little bit, but I'm bored with them.
I think it was a good set, but it was pretty much reminiscent of the last 2 years. So
I gotta agree. I mean, I like Tom Kiefer. I love his solo album, but like you said,
Enough is enough.
Gotta start throwing something new in there.
Yeah. Well, BC wanted Wasp to play again.
Because I missed him.
I wouldn't be.
He
I
missed
wouldn't be
them.
against that.
I would not either. I would definitely not. That was great when they played that
Yeah.
year. BC claims
I still
crazy stuff.
I still get paid by Lasky.
Crazy talk. But I mean, I don't mind Tom Kiefer, but it's like Maurice said. I think it's just the same thing for the last couple of years, and it's kind of over
I wouldn't mind if he was
overplayed.
earlier,
You know?
but like to close it out, I don't know.
Yeah, it's I don't know. He's not a headliner. You know, I think what Kix has said. I think Kix should have headlined. You know, the Friday night.
I mean, maybe they wanted to give them a break. Maybe, you know, who knows? But I mean, it was still decent.
Yeah, he's good and everything. You know, they're great songs, and it was a good set. But it just, you know,
Nothing new.
Yeah.
and I wasn't really.
So we left there. Traffic wasn't bad getting out. Of course, we were like boom right there in the first
it's like
parking
getting out
lot.
of Montage.
Yeah, okay.
Easy, right out.
Oh yeah,
Go right out.
yeah. The
You're home.
venue by us Montage Mountain. You might as well just take an extra case of beer with you and sit in the parking lot. Tell everybody goes.
Right out here. Everybody.
It's 20 minutes away. And you don't get home till 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, and that's what the show gets out at 11.
Show was done at 11:15. You're home at 3 a.m.
Yeah, it's just crazy, but it was no problem. And actually,
Sarcastic, I am, of course.
absolutely. And the hotel we stayed at this year
after
was
party.
actually way closer than the one we stayed in the year
way
before,
closer, yeah.
and there was much more by it. But we had a good time. We hung out in the lobby after we got back to the hotel. Well, most of us did.
Didn't get yelled at for drinking?
Oh, you came
Friday
down.
night.
Oh, the next night
We
you
did. The
come
guy
out.
said he was kicking us out at 12 or 2 o'clock.
Yeah, but he didn't though.
I would know. I didn't stay till 2.
Oh, we did. He didn't. He
That was
actually
that was a
came
nice
over
little
and sat
ticket.
with us and bullshitted.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. And I don't know, probably about 3 o'clock or something. We went back up to the room, maybe something like
He
that.
was sleeping since 1.
I was good.
Oh, that's true. BC was even sleeping at the bar.
I was there until 3, and then
His body was there till 3.
My body was
His-
there till 3.
His mind was not. And we
what was the name of the bar? What was that place?
Grotto Pizza.
I couldn't think of it. Somebody's
pizza.
asked me. I'm like, Five Guys? I have no idea.
Yeah, it was really good. And we
5 guys are you going to?
I was drawing a blank.
I don't want to screw the guy's name up. I think it was Tommy that we were talking to about the podcast in the hotel lobby. We were talking to him about the podcast, and he's from California. And
Well, I don't think it was Tommy.
no, I'm sorry. I'm totally drawing a blank, and I apologize. But and as far as we had guitar picks with us. We did meet not a whole bunch of people, but we did meet people and talk to them about the podcast, and gave some picks out and stuff, and hopefully gained some new listeners out there. And if I forgot your names, you guys, I have you guys on my Facebook, and I will definitely give you guys a shout out.
It's not personal. He just drank a lot.
Oh yeah. BC made me drink a lot, but we
Bad influence.
But we did. We had a nice conversation in the thing there. So we get up the next day. We go boom, do over. Did you guys go in for Taiketo?
No.
Yeah,
I
so-
wanted to, but I just couldn't do a 12-hour day.
Yeah, it was.
And
it was-
again, half-hour set. Come on, people.
yeah, we were.
not worth it getting there for 11 for 30 minutes of music. It's just not worth it.
And it's tough, especially after the long night you put in the night before. And that's what sucks for those bands too, like that. They don't, they're not going to get that crowd there to check them out because everybody's been partying for the night before. I know that there was a lot of tickets sold just for Saturday alone, but still, even if you're just going on a Saturday and you didn't stay the night before, you're
Traveling
you're
a couple
still
hours.
traveling, and but. Taiketo's a great band. We seen them a couple years ago, and actually the singer for Taiketo got up and sang with Babylon AD, right? Or Junkyard.
Babylon.
Got up and sang with Babylon AD on Sunday when BC and I went, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. But just a great night and or great day. I'm sorry, we missed Taiketo. We were in the parking lot for Warrant. You guys were in there for Warrant, right?
Negative.
Really?
Yes.
We were with you for Warren.
Oh, that's right. You guys pulled right.
Yeah.
We were right there. So we heard them though. They were really
It
good.
seemed okay.
It was Robert Mason's first show of the day because he ended up playing with Lynch Mob later on.
Mm-hmm.
And Warrant is. I'll tell you what. Warrant is just a great band. We could hear them really good. We could see the screen from where we were at in the parking lot. 3 ballads in a row.
Ugh,
Not cool.
Killer.
Just not cool. Total.
Take the wind out of your sail.
Total buzzkill. And they didn't do Dusty's Revenge, which is their best song ever.
They're another one that need to change up that set list a little bit.
They do, but you kind of can't blame them though. They only have a limited amount of time, and they're going to play the hits, the song that people want to fucking hear.
I know.
If you're
You're in the minority.
yeah. As you went later in the day, the sets got a little longer. Because I know last year when they did play, they played later in the afternoon, and they did do Dusty's Revenge. Did I mention that was their best song ever?
Yes.
They did do that then. That's BC.
What's Warren's best song ever, BC?
Oh, God. Like Machine Gun, anything other than...
He's not getting it, Dylan. He just. It's not I Saw Red, that's for sure, or Heaven, or Blind Faith was the other one they did in a
Blind
row.
Faith.
Yeah. So I mean, not bad. I mean, they're still good. They're rocking band. We absolutely love Warrant.
I think last time, the ratio of ballad to rockers was pretty much
Was
the same.
not good. Yeah.
Because I remember them doing a lot of ballads.
Yeah, but that was a semi-acoustic set too.
It was.
Yeah. Down Boys.
Go.
Blind Faith. I Saw Red, Heaven. Then
Yeah,
they,
but did you see the drums? He had like a little jazz kit or something. It wasn't even a regular.
oh really? I didn't even.
I
see
saw a
that
few
then.
pictures. I was like,
But then at least they did Uncle Tom's Cabin. And then of course they're going to do a Cherry Pie. So it was a really abbreviated set. I think that time of a set list just doesn't do a band any good. It's not enough time for them to get out there because most of these bands they're just getting warmed up when they're getting done.
Yep.
They're just getting the vibe of the crowd and okay next.
Chris, I'm sure you've been in this situation, Chris, where you only get to play a couple songs and then It's like, oh, I'm just
Yeah.
getting ready.
You get
and it's
warmed
like,
up,
no.
and they're like,
Yeah, it's strange
you got
they have
5
Warrant there
minutes.
and they put them on so early. They're
I know,
a band
I know.
that should be much later in the day, but so I don't know what the reasoning was. Maybe just a filler.
that's why LA Guns backed up. Because they were going to have an early set, like a 1 o'clock.
Well, the next day they did play a 1 o'clock set, 1 a.m.
Yeah.
But it wasn't. It was 1 o'clock.
It was on the class.
Were there people there?
Oh yeah, place
Oh, yeah.
was fucking packed. Yeah, we'll do Sunday. I'll tell you what, Sunday was happening. Sunday was absolutely happening. Great White, come on next. The band version, not the Jack Russell version. Lady Red Light, House of Broken Love, Save Your Love, Rock Me, Once Bitten, Twice Shy. That was when we headed in when they were playing because we were just getting our first beer inside when they started Once Bitten, Twice Shy. But I still love Rock Me. People that may be a hit of theirs, but I still think that song is just fucking great.
Oh, yeah.
I absolutely love
Yeah.
it. And they did a great version of House of Broken Love, Save Your Love. They did, which is I'm not a ballad guy, but that one I don't mind for some reason. I don't mind that song at all.
I have to agree at the end.
Just a,
Lady
but, I
Red
mean,
Light.
here's Great White. They played 5 songs. It's just, I mean.
Is it worth the try?
I just say how much are they paying these guys to make it worth them to go on to play 5 songs? You know what I mean? I don't know what the pay scale for these guys
Why
is.
can't everybody
probably-
get at least an hour?
plus
and their
whatever merch they sell. They
their
put them up and
hotel,
everything.
they're
all that's
getting paid the
count, but,
whole.
I mean, they're a good band. Mark Kindle still sounds great on guitar. Terry, I mean, he's not Jack Russell. You could
No.
Jack Russell's only
It's a
Jack
different
Russell.
band, but
They sounded good.
They are
And
good.
he was
They're good.
engaging
They're
the crowd. The 3 or 4 songs I saw,
I
they were good. They put on a good show.
I like
They
Terry,
limited them
but
out.
like you said, he's not Jack Russell.
Right.
but he pulls it off.
He pulls it off good, but
It's not terrible.
No, it's not. He does a good job for him. I think it's.
And the new stuff with him is really good.
it is. I
They
just
didn't
wish.
play it, but
They don't have time to play.
Yeah.
they
But
they
that is
just don't.
good.
And we dropped the ball because they actually had a CD there.
I know we because that maybe it's released now because when that CD came out, it's
Yeah.
released only digitally.
Only digitally.
There was no hard. You could not get a hard copy of that CD, but they had them there, and we talked about it, and then. Neither one of us felt like carrying it around in our pocket for
rest
the
of the
whole
day,
day.
yeah,
so we were going to go back and grab it later, but then we forgot about it. The next day, I think it was Monday. We're coming home like, fuck, we didn't get that.
Because like you said, it was digitally only, and then they
Which
actually see
sucks.
it.
I want the physical copy in my hand, even if I may not open it. I still have the copy. But like that's how I like to support the bands that I listen to. I want to, I don't mind listening to it digitally, but I want the CD so I can throw it in my computer and have it on my iTunes and touch it. Touch it. BC likes to touch it. Yeah. So next band. I'm sorry. Last in Line, which is probably the band that I really wanted to see the most.
They're such underrated.
There, and it's the original Dio band with Andrew Freeman singing. Well, not the original Dio band. It's Vinny Appice, Vivian Campbell, of course Jimmy Bain. Candy passed away in the Monsters of Rock cruise 2 years ago. But Phil Sassoon, that played in Ozzy's band, he is the bass player now. Excellent bass player, really nice guy. We met him a couple years ago at one of the hotels. Really nice guy, great bass player. And Andrew Freeman is an awesome singer. And the good part about that is he's not trying to be Ronnie James Dio. He's not trying to sing like him. He's not trying to do his stage moves. He's his own guy up there. He does the Dio stuff justice, and they have an album out, and the album is great. They do songs from that, but they start out with Stand Up and Shout, which is always great. The Devil Me. From their new album, Holy Diver, Already Dead, new song. Last in Line, Rainbow in the Dark. They do a song called Star Maker from their album.
Phenomenal.
And they close up with We Rock. And the album is called Last in Line, Heavy Crown. It's a great album, and it's reminiscent of Dio. Because the band still has that sound.
I like that they alternate basically, like cover Last in Line song, like that's a good way to do it. That's what Vince Neil should have done instead of just playing all Motley Crue songs.
When he goes to the post office to mail in his fucking performance.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
What doesn't matter what he plays.
Yeah.
Devil Me is probably my favorite set. There's another band that's been. He keeps saying new album. Okay, 2 years.
Yeah, and it doesn't. It seems like it just came out, but it's good. I hope you guys out there pick it up and give these guys some support. And Andrew Freeman, he's playing in a band now with the original members of the Bullet Boys, with the exception of Mark Torian, and I forget what they're called. It's like thieves and
liars,
thieves,
deceit.
and liars, deceit.
Something like that.
Dylan's gonna look it up for us.
What am I looking at?
The Bullet Boys guys band and Andrew Freeman.
Okay, well, keep
All right.
talking.
Okay. But they're really good, and they do the whole Bullet Boys
Really?
first album. Yeah, he said they do the whole album in its entirety.
They
Which
did
has
it
gotta
on
be
the cruise.
Cool to
It's on YouTube.
see. I mean, and I've seen the videos. That's cool. Andrew Freeman is a really really good frontman.
Yeah,
we saw them down at the Sherman Theater, and it was
I
was
guess-
great.
Well, you know what other band Andrew Freeman was in for a little bit? The Offspring.
Really?
Yeah, he
Oh,
was
yeah?
touring guitarist and backup vocalist on their 2008 tour.
Really?
Pretty crazy stuff.
Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, but check those guys out.
They have fun though. You could tell the band was up there
Right.
just having a blast.
And it's just so great to see Vivian Campbell playing those songs again.
Yeah.
Because now they sound like they should sound. And he's not wasted in that band like he is in Def Leppard, in my opinion.
Lies, Deceit, and Treachery.
Lies, Deceit, and Treachery. That's the band that Andrew Freeman plays with the guys from Bullet Boys. Thank you, Don.
He was having a lot of fun up there.
Yeah, you could tell. You could tell. He was just like over the moon up there. Just
I've seen him 3 times, and like he's always like,
yeah. He looks good too. You know,
Yeah.
he was sick with cancer for a while there. Excuse me.
You would never know it.
You would never know it, and he's playing great. He's looking great. It was just a great show. It was definitely one of my favorite bands of the whole festival, and just to see him do those songs again. Even Star Maker, it kicks in at the end. It's got a rockin' part at the end, and BC gave Andrew Freeman one of our picks, actually, right?
yes.
Because he comes over to the side of the stage and like, BC, go give him a pick. Go give him a pick. So he gave it. He looks at it. He put it in his pocket. So, and so that was kind of cool.
Trash pick.
Thanks, Dylan.
Some guys just had the picks out. We're supposed to be hitting the picks out.
Well, he had that look on his face because I went up and he's finally he's ready to give me like a
That's
hot.
what you're saying. He might be listening.
He's ready to shake my hand or something. I'm like, he's like,
You dropped this.
That's cool. Maurice, what'd you think? What'd you think of
A
those?
solid performance.
You had never seen them before, have you?
I have not.
How about you, Chris?
Yes. I don't know where.
We saw Dio's Disciples, right?
Dio's Disciples played there a couple years ago. Not
So
saying.
maybe not. Maybe not.
That was the
didn't see
Craig
last.
Goldie version.
Right.
Yeah.
We did see them, but they were good. So I mean,
they're good.
Vivian Campbell, I
played
mean,
the Sherman.
Vinny Appice, I mean, Phil. You know it's going to be good.
Yeah, good. All solid players. Plus, they're the guys that made those.
Right. Yeah.
Originally
Right.
made those
Yeah,
songs.
it's like they said, they're not a cover band.
no.
Yeah. They go off. Next up is another great band, another great performance, Lynch Mob. BB probably would have been BB's favorite set of the night, of the whole day. They started out with Street Fighting Man, which was different for them. I don't think I've ever heard them do that song. She's Evil But She's Mine, River of Love, It's Not Love. They have a guitar solo down, but they did Mr. Scary. Mr. Scary, which is still just fucking unbelievable. Alone Again, Sweet Sister Mercy, No Good, and then they ended up with Wicked Sensation. But just a great set. Robert Mason sang for that, so he did his second set of the day. And Scott Coogan, the drummer, did his first set of the day because he would drum later for Ace Frehley and help save that show, by the way. And we'll get into that. We'll get into that.
What do you mean?
I missed
But
something.
no, you're not. But just a great set, and I made a post on Facebook, just a good picture of Robert Mason. Robert Mason is rock and roll.
He
to
is.
me.
He is.
He is just a phenomenal front man. He's I don't want to sound
And he
like
loves
that.
doing it.
He does. You can tell he's having a good time, but he's just so fucking cool up there.
Yeah.
He's up there to rock. You can tell he enjoys the music he's playing, whether it be Warrant, whether it be Lynch Mob, whether it be singing behind the curtain for Ozzy. Like you can tell the guy just has a good time. But he actually explained what the deal was with that. He wasn't actually apparently singing for Ozzy. He was singing along with him,
Right.
to beef it up.
Beef it up.
Remember that time he came on stage randomly during Lita's set
Yeah, well, the one year he was there, he came on stage for a bunch of different sets, and he wasn't even playing
Yeah,
in
he was
any
just-
bands.
it was just
Lynch
like,
Mob or Ward
hi,
wasn't
Robert.
there.
He was just
he
there.
just kind of showed up and just like hung
That's
out.
what I
He
mean.
would come up. He sang with Lita Ford. I
Right.
think he came up with 2 or 3 different bands, and
He was
it was
just
cool.
He was there on his own, and
Yeah.
just having fun.
Yeah, real cool guy. We actually got to talk to him the 1 or 2 years at the old hotel we used to stay in where the band stay. But just a great set. I love when they do River of Love and She's Evil but She's Mine. You gotta love the Lynch Mob self-titled album with Robert Mason singing. I mean, I
My
love
favorite.
Wicked Sensation, but that second album I think is just
It's not a bad song.
is just a little better. And I love to hear. I love Ani Logan too. Really good, solid vocalist. But I do like hearing Robert Mason sing those songs.
I don't know if I've seen Lynch Mob with Robert Mason. I think it was Ani Logan each time.
It probably was.
Yeah, yeah.
It probably was.
The
'cause
last few times there was
yeah,
Ani.
because they had a different singer in there.
Yeah,
the guy
they-
from Blondes, right?
There's stuff on you. They said, "Here's our new vocalist," and then they played some casino and some other places, and he was with them. That's why I surprised Robert Mason.
Yeah,
Yeah, that didn't last long.
yeah. But they never even said what happened. It was just boom. Here's Robert Mason again, and George Lynch, solid as ever. When he just does Mr. Scary, it just gives you chills. It's just phenomenal. And I gotta say, at the end of the show, they went a little long, and they just kept fucking playing. They put the curtain up behind them. Stryper was getting their shit ready to go to come on stage, and then they shut the drums off. They shut the mics off on the drums, and George is still fucking playing. And like they literally just ended up just like turning them off. It was kind of almost like Jackal when we saw them there that year, where they shut the lights off on them and everything.
Yeah, they don't mess around.
No, they want they want to keep the schedule. They try to do that, but like George he just kept playing. It was cool. It was very rock and roll. And they're just and I gotta say, when Lynch Mob played there either last year or the year before, George Lynch was playing Les Paul, which was very, very weird to see him play Les Paul.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was just odd to see him play a Les Paul. It was much better to see him. He played the one with the bones this time, right?
Yeah.
Well, I remember he played.
He played it-
Ricky's, and he brought like 50 guitars,
And played one.
and he played like the most normal-looking guitar
Yeah.
on the face of the earth.
Well, because a couple years ago he just played that light blue Telecaster, and a friend of mine, Chris, you may even know him, Ron Pasco. He's in the Wannabes. He's the guitar player of the Wannabes,
okay.
and he has the same exact guitar that George Lynch has. It's like a baby blue Telecaster. I mean, and George Lynch, he could play this table with strings on it. It would fucking sound great. But
Cigarette
it's
dangling
just
from his mouth as he's just-
yeah. It's just weird seeing him play something other than one of his like Dokken like guitars, like one of the
It definitely
what's he play? He doesn't play Jackson. He
ESP?
plays ESP or I don't
He
know.
was for a while.
Yeah, well, he was playing obviously Gibson when he played the Les Paul, but it was just a little disconcerting seeing him play something when you're not used to it. And but those guys were just like kick ass. And like I said, they put the curtain up on him. Stage rolled around, and here comes
Stryper.
the Yellow and Black Attack of Stryper. They just put a new album out, I'd say maybe a month or so ago. Goddamn Evil, which caused a little controversy among the diehard Stryper people because it had Goddamn in the title and title track, and who gives a shit? Like,
Relax, people.
but they put in a friggin' solid set. And Stryper is such a distinctive sounding band, and they are just friggin' kick ass. I love those guys. Robert Sweet and Michael Sweet, the brothers, and Perry Richardson, the new guitar player,
bass
that
player.
replaced Tim Gaines, and Oz Fox, the other guitar player. Those guys are just such a solid band. And they started off the set with the new song "Sorry," which is just a great. I don't know. Have you guys heard the new Stryper album?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What do you guys think of that
I like
overall?
it. It's good.
Very
It's
good.
heavy. I think Stryper was the heaviest band there the whole weekend, in my opinion.
Yeah. You think that?
If not, they were damn close. If
yeah,
not, they were
the-
damn close.
They kicked
And-
ass.
And just and it was crazy too. You seen Stryper drums facing forward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say they always
drums
they
are
have
always
such
sideways.
There's always
they're always a mid-range band. They never get to really show their stuff. They have the small stage. Michael Sweet could barely even move up there. and condensed set list.
I would love to see. These guys just played in New York City like a couple days ago from when we were recording this, and there were some videos online. It was a club. I mean, it was probably actually a smaller stage than we saw them on, but just to see them do a full set. I've never seen them do a full set.
You didn't see them when they were down like Wilkes-Barre a couple of years ago?
I did not. I don't know why.
Huh.
You're going to question my loyalty, aren't you?
Yeah, pretty much. I question your loyalty.
I saw him headline to COSC back then.
So did I.
Yeah,
I was there.
With
That
Hurricane.
was the devil.
Yeah.
Hurricane, right?
Hurricane.
I also missed that one. I don't know why, but I don't know why.
I saw them
Went
at
to the
Allentown.
party.
I was.
The
I
Croc
guess
Rock.
I guess I was.
Right?
But
Yeah.
just they did. Sorry, like I said, calling on you, free, more than a man, soldiers under command, all for one, which they don't usually do.
No.
All for one. That was kind of a surprise in there.
That was different.
Goddamn evil they did.
Oh, they did that.
I know it has terrible cursing in it. The way, and then they did To Hell with the Devil, and Goddamn Evil was just.
I think I have
such
that
a
in my notes that was the best song. of
cranking
the set.
song, just
Yeah.
so good.
That and sorry, dun 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 dun.
That is such a cool, like, chugging riff.
Yeah. And the
They came
video
out
the video for Sorry is really good, but they're just so distinctive sounding, and they're
always had
just
a-
great. I caught a pic from Perry Richardson. I
They
think
always
he
have
threw
a
one out. I
distinctive
snagged
guitar
it.
tone.
It's coming
Yeah,
right for me.
It was.
It was. I was like,
Bang.
Steve got it.
Yeah, Goddamn Evil stole the show.
Yeah, it was good, and they're just so a good sounding band, just so solid, and the background vocals are like right there. It's and they're not recorded.
You're right. Robert Street's.
There's no time at M3 for people to play fucking tracks.
I think
Pretty Boy Floyd did.
Queen's
Did they
right
really?
there.
you believe it.
I would swear
know
that
about
Pretty
vocal
Boy
tracks,
Floyd's back
Oh, but like
vocals,
all that
intro
other-
music and stuff.
Right,
Yeah,
but still,
yeah.
no,
But triggered vocals. Oh yeah.
the backing vocals, yeah.
Oh yeah.
I could
I stand
swear.
corrected.
I would swear it. Because I was watching.
You were there.
I was
We
there.
were partying with Jason up in the parking lot.
Jesus,
How did Michael Sweet sound?
he was great.
He sounded great.
I think the older he gets, the better he sounds.
Yeah.
And
He still looks the same.
yeah,
from
and
20
the
years
older
ago.
they get, the heavier they get.
Right, that's what I'm
Each
saying.
album has been progressively heavier and just kick ass. It's
I
like
thought
totally
they
kick
were. I
ass.
thought they were the heaviest band there.
They were
cranked.
friggin' excellent. They were great, and still the
They should have
yellow and
headlined
black
Friday
attack.
night.
There you go.
Absolutely, I would love to see them guys headline.
That's what I'm saying. They never get a chance to shine.
I know.
They always stick them at that 3 o'clock,
Yep.
4 o'clock.
And that's usually
I mean,
right when
they
they-
came
yeah.
on before Slaughter, which we're going to get into next.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Well, you're gonna have to tell us about Slaughter because we were.
there's not much to tell.
during.
Did you guys do your survey? Your M3 survey? Did you do it online?
No, I didn't
on
get
Facebook. It's on Facebook.
Oh no, I'll have to
Check
do
it
that.
out.
But the one with the band, like who do you like?
Right from the M3 festival, you take the survey.
This is how the festival gets better, BC.
Yes.
They don't
Well,
listen
then,
to
so
me,
then no one answered it last year. Is that what happened?
I don't know.
All right, let's get into Slaughter.
All right then.
Yeah, BC and I went to grab something to eat, which was really weird how we got our food. We won't even get into that. It was just stupid. But that was during Slaughter, so we didn't get to see them. So Maurice and Chris, give us the lowdown on these guys.
Good set list, but horrible sound.
Yeah, sound
Were they too loud again?
too loud, too distorted.
Too distorted.
They're always like that.
They are.
Yeah,
I
always
wish.
together.
And anyone that's out there thinking, oh, if it's too loud, you're too old. No, it can be loud, but it needs to sound good.
Yeah. And it wasn't. Everything
That
was.
when we saw them at Penn's Peak in that friggin' snowstorm that night on the way
Right.
home,
Did they headline-
they were way too fucking loud.
Did they headline the second stage one year?
Yes,
They probably
Yeah.
did.
It was too loud.
it's loud to the point where it's muffled.
Did their guitars work at least for the whole set? Because I know that
yeah,
when we saw them
yeah.
at Penn's Peak, like the guitars were out.
Yeah, Jeff Blando's guitar was out for like the whole first song, but Mark Slaughter's a great guitar player.
Yeah,
Mark
he
Slaughter's
picked it
a
up pretty
freaking
well.
excellent guitar player.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did some kind of acoustic thing that went on for seemed like forever.
Oh, what did he do? Like,
It's
was
all
it
acoustic
Flight of the
as well.
Angels, or was it Days Gone By?
I think it was Days Gone By.
I
I don't know what it
Flight
is
of
about.
Angels.
Flight of the Angels takes so long live for me. Like it
And
drags
Up All
for me.
Night, their closer was just, I thought was awful.
Oh, really?
Absolutely awful.
How was Zoltan?
Well, that's what keeps them relevant, that drummer, I think.
He's
Because
great.
if
He's
you
just
take him away
crazy
and
drummer.
everybody in the place is gone for something
Yeah.
to eat.
I was looking on the. I was looking at the
sandwiches are that
comments.
Well, Jeff Blando's no slouch though. He's an
No,
excellent.
no,
excellent
The
guitar
band
player.
is good.
Right.
The band is good.
They got to
It's
do
just-
something with their sound. I don't know what's going
Yeah,
on, but
they're just.
They don't have a
I
huge
love them
library.
truly. Yeah, and And I want to see them in a good full show, but they're just too loud to the point of distortion where it's not enjoyable, where it's rather painful at times.
Yeah. Like in Back to the Future with Huey Lewis.
They play the same 6 songs every single set.
time.
So, I don't know. They weren't bad, but they weren't.
And it looks like a decent set list. The Wildlife, Burning Bridges, Spend My Life, which is Mad About You is always a good one. Days Gone By, Real Love, and Flight of the Angels. There's your hits section. And then Up All Night, which is probably their best known song, but still.
Pretty much for years.
It's standard. It's their standard.
It is. And the thing, and these bands, they're all doing fly-in dates now, so they'll fly in on a Friday, do a show Friday night or Saturday, Friday and Saturday, and then they're done. So, I mean, these bands don't have a lot of time to practice, I'm sure, because, I'm sure a lot of these guys have day jobs.
I would imagine.
Look at Chris. He's a rock star. He fucking works for the state of
Yeah,
Pennsylvania.
they should be able to pick up that guitar and play anything.
Well, I don't want to bring it up.
He's a public servant like the rest of us.
Send him a file here. We're playing this song.
So's Mo here, too. But I just hate that. They should just let me and BC pick a set list for once.
Who do you think you are, Eddie Trunk?
Take the survey.
Cheap Trick?
We can do the list. We will.
Oh, there was Taikedo's set list. I missed that one.
Yeah, it's like 3 songs.
Like way down. Oh, really?
Well, according to the setlist.fm, yes.
Oh, okay.
That's the one that I saw that I'm like.
See, they got gypped playing time and on Setlist FM.
Sleepless Boy was sleeping. That's one of the guys that.
Next out was we can only really say that all of us heard this set. Sebastian Bach.
I saw it live.
No, you didn't.
I went down.
Stayed down.
I went down.
You were taking our picture.
I
during
took 2
those
pictures
guys.
and
Oh, did he leave after that?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, it sounded good.
I thought he was great.
Wait a minute.
Did I just say that out loud?
Did you really? Wow.
It sounded good.
He sounded good. He was short and sweet in between songs. He seemed gracious.
Did he yell at nobody?
Didn't yell at anybody. The guitar player was fantastic.
What's it, Brent Woods?
Just from watching it on the video screen, it looks like he's having more fun now
Yeah.
than he did, before.
Well, it's because he doesn't have a new album out. He doesn't have any songs to yell at anybody about.
He played "Shout" by Motley Crue, which sounded excellent. And then for "Youth Gone Wild," they had the video from back in '86, whenever that was from.
Yeah, you were able to see
the video on the screen. So
still do the tattoo thing?
It was pretty.
Yeah, he started out with "Slave to the Grind," "Piece of Me," "18 in Life," "The Threat," which is a great song that you hardly ever get to see. I Remember You, we could skip over that. Big Gun, Sweet Little Sister, and Love is a Bitch Slap is a friggin' great song. And actually, Axl Rose sings on the album version of that with him. Rattlesnake Shake, American Metalhead, which is actually a Metal Mike song that was on Metal Mike's album that he used to be the guitar player in Halford. And that was a song on his Pain Museum, that's what it is. And he kind of commandeered that song, and I think it's on Angels Down also. Monkey Business, like Maurice just said, Shout at the Devil and Youth Gone Wild. I mean, that's a good. Now you're finally getting into the longer sets of the day. They're having a little more time to play, which is good. Which Stryper would have been so much better moved up in the rotation. I think absolutely.
Maybe switch out with this next person, from what I hear.
Yeah. So Skid Row sounded really excellent. Sebastian, what did I say?
You said Skid Row.
Oh, Skid Row. Okay.
He's no longer with
that guy from Skid Row.
The original voice of Skid Row.
There you go. Okay. Wow, I didn't even notice that I did that.
Yeah, that was.
Up next was one that I, and probably myself, and definitely Chris, and definitely Rob, was absolutely, totally looking forward to checking out.
Poor Rob.
I'll get into that in a minute.
Looked like they stole his first kid.
I know.
He was so upset.
I know. Ace Frehley comes on.
Oh, good.
I think from the very first note that he played, it was fucked up, and I don't know what went on or did not go on, but all we got to see was what went on stage. He literally walked out, and the band wasn't even on the stage and started to play. Scott Coogan literally, on his second set of the day, by the way, literally just sat behind the drums. Ace walks out and starts playing Parasite. So Chris Wise, or Dennis Wise, as he called him later on in the fucking set, and Richie Scarlett were not even out on the stage when Ace started playing that song. So he was like right to where it kicks in, and it didn't kick in yet, I don't think, because the guys weren't on stage. And then it
Went downhill from
Kind of went downhill from there.
It snowballed.
Yeah.
Like he didn't sing the whole songs. He kept on.
What song did he
mumbling, and he kept on.
He said, or did he turn around and just walk away?
That was during Cold Gin.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
you guys bust my ass about get another quad.
And he did do that.
He didn't even sing that part. I'm waiting for these guys to bust my ass, and he just walked away from the
Yeah, walked away from
microphone.
the microphone. Yeah.
But and I took a picture where you could see, and I just noticed that I think I posted the picture yesterday. You could see Scott Coogan looking at him like, and you could definitely see the what the fuck look on his face in this picture that I took, and but it was
He saw that look on a lot of people's faces.
yeah. I don't know what was going on. People were saying he was drinking again, and I don't know.
I don't think
know.
A lot of people on Facebook.
I don't know if he was
been out of shape
sick or
because people
whatever.
were going. He's
I think he's ill.
I mean, I'm not gonna say that he was good when he sucked, but actually we were at the show in Wilkes-Barre where he got sick and didn't finish the show. He was a lot better there than he was in
And
M3.
even then, it was like he was doing like the slowed down choruses. Like it would be like tempo of the
Snowblind
album.
was real slow.
And then
from
like
Wilkes-Barre.
he would slow down the chorus like so much, and then pick it back up again.
There's definitely something wrong.
Yeah, something was definitely going
I
on.
don't think he's boozing.
I hope he's not.
I can't say for
I
sure,
seriously
but
hope
it just
he's
looks
not.
like he's
But
Can I
he's
ask
got a health
I mean,
issue. He's old.
he's what,
that's what-
66?
67?
66 or
No, he's older,
67?
Can I ask what his obsession is with playing "Too Young to Die"?
I don't know. I
Why
hate
does
that
he
song.
insist on
Well, because
playing
that's
that
a song
song?
that Richie Scarlett has him sing.
Yeah.
Which I would rather see him do one of the Todd Howard songs. Have him do like Something Moved or something.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
That would be cool. Too Young to Die, I think, is a terrible song. I fucking hate it. And that's my piss song for an Ace show. But he insists on doing all of the Kiss songs that he doesn't even sing on. Love Gun, Detroit Rock City, Deuce. At least he wrote Cold Gin.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, it's not even like an Ace Frehley set.
Yeah.
Except what?
there's one song from his 70s.
Soldiers, Too Young to Die.
Yeah,
And that's it.
Rock Soldiers ripped it out.
He has enough help.
Well, I mean, like the Frehley's Comet. You know what I mean?
Technically,
Yeah.
Groove is.
There's so many good songs in the Ace. I mean, even if he just did Ace Kiss songs, he could do Talk to Me. He could do
Rock
2000 Man.
Yeah.
You know, he could do them. But I mean, like Deuce, like come on, like
Right.
Detroit Rock City. I think initially when they started doing, and I've said it before, when they started doing Love Gun in Detroit Rock City with Scott Coogan singing, I think that was Ace's middle finger. Fuck you, my drummer can sing this song better than Paul Stanley can sing his own song.
Nobody can sing better than Paul Stanley.
At the time. But I think that's my thoughts of why they're doing that.
Cheap shots.
It's not a cheap shot. It's not a cheap shot. If it's a cheap shot by anybody, it's a cheap shot by Ace.
I think also it's the people that are brainwashed that that's the songs they got to see when they go see Ace Frehley. They got to hear these Kiss songs. Because
I would
nobody can
rather
think
just
outside
Frehley's
the box
Comet
like
stuff.
we
I
can.
would too. Yeah, I mean,
Right.
Yeah, Frehley's
we
Comet.
can,
Yeah,
but
yeah. If you're going to see Ace, you're going to see Ace. You're an Ace fan, so you want to
Throwing shocked
hear.
me.
Well, he did shock me.
Well, I mean, but like if he was going to do an all Frehley's Comet show, you know what I mean?
Right.
You could throw in a couple of the
Rocket Ride. I mean, he's done Rocket Ride in the last
Yeah.
couple years. Do that. You know, just mix it up.
2000 Man.
It's going to be interesting with what went on here as to what's going to happen on Kiss Cruise 8 coming up because Ace is supposed to be on there.
Well,
And,
you're gonna find out when he supposedly goes to Australia.
Yeah, because he's
With Gene.
with Gene in August.
Right.
With Gene in August, and his band is not going with him. Gene's band is playing
With Ace?
is Ace's band for the Australian tour. Yes,
It's interesting.
that's very interesting.
I figured he would have played that new song that just like came
Bronx
out.
I think he was
Yeah.
supposed to, but he just forgot about it
I think he was supposed to.
Maybe.
because he mentioned it.
I'm looking at the set list.
Oh, did he really?
I believe he mentioned
he did, yeah.
he mentioned
He
it,
said
and
a new
then he
song.
went into a Kiss song.
So you got a new song out. Anyways, here's some older stuff.
Yeah, that's pretty much how it went.
Here's Love Gun.
one from Love.
Yeah, that's about how it went.
What'd you guys think of the song? Have you heard it?
I have not heard it.
heard it?
but
No, I haven't heard it yet. I heard half
like
of it.
I'm not a giant fan of it.
No, I thought it was
It
okay.
didn't grab me.
That was okay.
It's
It's okay. That's what
It's
Gene wrote that with him, right?
I think so. I think it was one of the ones that Gene wrote with him. I thought it was pretty cool.
I don't like his vocals in it. I think he sounds terrible.
I don't think you're going to be blown away by anything.
No, but like usually his vocals like go well with the song. Like I Want to Hold You, like his vocals go really well with that, and I don't know why he doesn't play that song live. But I don't know, his vocals just didn't go with it.
I know, and there's nothing in the set from the albums he's had out.
And
lately.
even the
nothing from
longer-
Space Invader, nothing from Anomaly, nothing.
Even the longer set, like the show, like he played New York City the day before, and like the set list for that show is even like mostly Kiss songs, and like the only other like Ace song he plays is Snowblind.
Which is great.
Yeah, it's a good song, but like he has a catalog.
I know. I don't know.
Exactly.
Like it may be. I think Maurice said it. People telling him you need to play this shit.
He needs to move on.
He does. He needs to
I agree.
revamp.
I agree.
Totally
He
revamp.
can't do this set list on the cruise.
Kiss won't let him. The Kiss won't let him do it. They don't want to see him doing
I don't know what he's gonna do
those
because he
songs. I
definitely
don't
doesn't
think
have his own.
because I
stuff
know
ready.
that it's been said that the Kuehl brothers set had to be approved by
Right,
Kiss.
I heard that.
So
I heard that.
you could definitely think that they're gonna. What are you laughing at?
That's just funny.
But I mean that it was said though. It was out there that they had to approve the set list.
How about their
which
costumes? Do they wear whatever they want, or they have to?
I think they were allowed to wear whatever they wanted. They just couldn't wear.
Their heel could only
They
be
just couldn't
3
wear an Iron
inches.
Maiden shirt.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Throwing them overboard.
Yeah. So but I mean, it wasn't just us that was thinking and feeling this way. That was the buzz of the festival.
Yeah.
Like after Ace got done, and even our friend Deborah, that is like
us.
her last word will be "kiss," like when she dies. But she was even like, something's going on. Like I said, I hope he's not drinking again.
Walking through the crowd, everybody's
Or whatever,
like,
people
you hear
was like,
everybody
what the
talking like,
fuck?
what the hell?
Yeah.
He's a train
Yeah, walk
wreck.
me through how Rob was reacting to it, because I'm sure that
I'll tell you what. Here's
I never saw a grown man
Rob-
cry until that night.
It looked like somebody stole his ball.
Oh my God.
Rob had a little PTSD after that set list, I think. And
He
the
did
thing,
look shocked.
I know, and the thing is, I felt so bad. I couldn't even. And I
Yeah.
bust his ass all the time about
Yeah.
Ace because he had the spray painted Ace Frehley shirt on.
Yeah, the
And I was-
airbrush Ace shirt on.
And whenever
Waiting all
someone-
day to
yeah.
see this debacle.
When everybody walked by Rob, hey, cool Ace shirt. I always say, that's Tommy Thayer. Like religiously, I would do that, and I felt so bad for him that I can't even bust his ass about how bad it was. It was more sad than
It
bad.
was. I don't think I
It was
really
just
don't
like
think he
one of
was
them,
drunk.
what the fuck?
I think there's a medical issue there. I really
Well,
think that's,
I don't know if you noticed how looked like
I was showing you his-
arthritic his
when they
right
were showing
hand
his
was.
right hand playing.
Like his
it's like
knuckles
a,
look like really arthritic.
it's like a,
Yeah,
what are
so
you, he's 67 years old.
67.
He
We
is.
got to
It's-
keep that in
it's-
mind here.
God, you know, even if we make it that long, you
Right.
know.
Yeah.
All right, Ace gets done. Then the one of the other ones I was definitely looking forward to deliver, Night Ranger, which they delivered and then some. I think I really think Night Ranger is one of the best live bands out there playing now.
absolutely.
And I know Dylan would have like absolutely went out of his mind during this set.
Well, I watched some of your live stream of it, and like You Could Still Rock in America was on, and I'm like, holy shit, this is amazing. And also, I noticed you weren't singing along, BC. What kind of American are
BC
you?
was standing like, darn.
But like, and then like, and I'm like, wow, that was a really awesome end to the show. And then they start going into Sing Me Away. I'm like, wait, they didn't close with You Can Still Rock in America?
No, it was the second song. They start out with
second song.
I was
somehow,
like,
some
holy
way, You Can
shit.
Still Rock in America, Sing Me Away, Coming of Age, which they started to do. Then they did, I'm sorry, they did that whole song. And then Sentimental Street come up next. And I just, that's my only thing in the Night Ranger set. I don't like when Kelly Keagy comes out behind the set to sing that song. I hate that.
Why?
I just do. I just hate it.
Track.
Like, just sing behind the drums. You don't need to walk out and then walk back.
Wow.
And then walk
Wow.
back out again at the end of the song.
You have a problem with drummers?
I don't. I like drummers when they drum.
So you're telling me
drummers
you
when
don't
they
like when
drum?
Tommy Lee comes out and plays piano during Home Sweet Home?
You are correct.
You don't like when he comes out with the titty cam?
I like the titty cam part. The titty cam part is good. We discussed that even on our Motley Crue thing. That was the titty cam was cool.
Rumors in the air?
Rumors in the air. Night
song.
Ranger.
Night Ranger.
Which I haven't seen them do that live in a long goddamn time. And,
Long time.
we were talking about that previous to the show. I'm like, man, if they do Night Ranger, the song Night Ranger, I'm going to lose my shit. And they did. And I did. Then they started to do High Enough, and then they stopped. Then they did the very beginning part of Come Again from Damn Yankees, which I wish they finished that song.
Yeah.
Because I think Come Again is a way better song than High Enough.
Yes.
And they went back into High Enough and finished the song, which was good. They can get that out of the way. And actually, 4 in the Morning is another song I don't really care for Night Ranger. I think it's a little too mellow, too mid-tempo-ish. I think I would rather see Eddie's Coming Out Tonight or something like that. See them play that. Or Secret of My Success would have been way better than 4 in the Morning.
No, God, no.
Are you kidding me?
Oh,
Are you
hate that
serious?
song.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Why?
I
question your loyalty.
Hey, come on now. I don't go there. I don't know.
Surprised they didn't do Touch of Madness.
That would have been
That would have been good.
or Neverland or something. But I just
Neverland,
I
yeah.
don't like 4 in the Morning. When you close
do.
your eyes,
Awesome.
that is a great song.
Yeah.
That is a great song. That's one of their hits. That's a hit that I actually like. Sister Christian I can absolutely live with. I don't mind that one at all because the solo in it's really cool.
Yeah.
And they sing about Motorhead. And then they did Don't Tell Me You Love Me. They threw a little Highway Star in there.
Yeah, I remember they did that the last time.
Which was really cool. But just a great set. And
Did I not say that Don't Tell Me You Love Me, they should close their set with that during like the...
absolutely, I think so. But the cool thing is when they do close the show with You Can Still Rock in America, they have the big American flag as the backdrop, which I think is cool as fuck. But just a great set, and they're a band that they bring it every time. They just like
From the
kick
first note
total
to the end.
ass. What do you think, Mo?
Yeah, definitely lively on stage. The set is reminiscent of the last 2 times they played there, but they did mix it up, changing the closing song and throwing in Night Ranger. But the set is more or less the same as the last 2 shows, I think. I unless I miss
Which I didn't mind.
something here.
Now, this is
But
one
they
band
are
that
so
I-
energetic on stage that you could get past this.
Yeah,
they-
Absolutely. Yep.
This is one band that if they just played the hits every time they came out, I would never complain.
And
Except 4 in the
I
Morning.
think they mirror Kicks, they're the same, their energy, and then, the set list, we've talked about that same old Kicks set list. But,
Right.
I've only seen Night Ranger a couple times, so I could live with that.
I've seen them a ton, and I'm happy with the
And
hits.
I'm the same thing. I've seen Kicks a ton of times, and I could live with their same set list. So it's, I guess, just.
Oh,
All I gotta say is Brad Gillis.
Species first of the night.
Brad Gillis is so good.
Brad Gillis is he's great, and that guitar he plays is just when you see that up close, that's just beat the shit.
Here's
But-
a guy that just has a blast. He's
Everybody on that
Oh
band.
yeah, they
everybody, but every time you see it, he's just like so like.
And Jack Blades is like the Dick Clark of rockers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He really is, and
Hasn't
he's
changed.
just
Hasn't
a
changed.
great guy, great personality, great stage persona. And you could tell these guys are having fun. They're having fun.
That's
and
definitely,
Kerry Kelly, I'll tell you what. When I first heard he was in Night Ranger, I was kind of like, God, I don't know if he's really going to fit, but he fits great.
Yes, he does.
He was great. He rocked with the best of them.
Yeah.
And they're another band that they've not had a bad version of the band, because really the only ones that have changed, besides when they did the one with Gary Moon, is that Jeff Watson guitar spot where Joe Hulkster was there for years and
Right,
years,
right.
and then he went with Whitesnake, and Kerry Kelly came in, and good fit, really
Yeah,
good
he
fit for
fits
the
right
band, and he's younger than us.
Is he really?
He's like well, I don't know how old are you?
I'm not telling everybody how old I
Okay.
am.
He's like 40. He's like 42 or something.
He's younger than you then.
He's younger than me.
And I was surprised by that. But even when BB and we got our picture taken with them last year, they were cool.
Yeah.
They were really cool. And great guys. It's good to see Kelly Kagi back. He had heart problems a year or two ago, and he's totally I don't know about totally recovered, but he's recovered enough to play. But just a great band. Like we said, just the energy is just boundless with those guys, and just the guitar playing. And they each play. Brad Gillis plays I'd say a little more solos than
a little bit.
than
But
Kerry
throughout
does.
the years,
But they're
throughout the years, Kelly's starting to play a lot more.
a
So
lot more, yeah.
than when he first came with them.
But just
Which is cool.
a great band, and I think they were a definite standout, and they would be a band that I wouldn't mind if they closed the night either, and got to play this. I think they played about the same amount as Queensryche, but great band, and they would have been the perfect band to close out the first night.
Swap, boot,
Yeah.
switch.
Boot Kiefer down to the maybe the slaughter spot.
Opening slot.
on the next day.
Switch Night Ranger and
You know,
Newcomer.
but just like let Night Ranger close out the first night and just let them have at it. I think that would have been a much more satisfying evening. And I will say, I'll jump back to the first night real quick. That's the first time that we've stayed for a whole kick show at M3 in a while. And it's like the first in a while with them closing. It's the first that we've pretty much stayed to the end on the first night because it was just such a good night. And
Weather was good too.
the weather was great. The weather was fantastic. The weather I think it was like 90, 91 or 92 when we went in. But it wasn't that humid where you just have swamp ass the whole time you're there. You know, it was just it wasn't humid. It was hot, but it wasn't that. And so even the next day, it got a little cloudy and stuff during the day, and there was a little couple rumbles of thunder in the distance and stuff. But
Once the sun, it was.
but nothing. It was maybe the best weather we've had
In a while, I
because
think.
we've had some rain in the last couple of years and everything. But back to Night Ranger, I think it was just fantastic. I think those guys kicked ass.
I mean, not Ranger, but the next band up to me was the biggest surprise, I think. I don't know if anybody else agrees with that.
Good or bad?
Good.
Why did you think they were going to suck, BC?
Yeah,
We're
I-
talking about Queensryche.
No. I love Queensryche, but
They were getting a lot of crap for being the headliner of a 10th anniversary.
everybody gave them shit, but
I think they delivered.
They delivered.
I thought they were great.
Yeah.
Chris and Maurice and Jay were a couple rows behind us for the fest, but like we were all in the same row. We all those guys moved down
For the last two
and
bands.
I'll tell you what, we rocked the fuck out for Queensryche
And Night
if,
Ranger.
Yeah, for both of them. If you look at how many pictures I took throughout the day, I took the less and less pictures because I'm like, you know what, fuck the pictures. I'm just gonna rock.
Yeah.
And Queensryche, I mean, they open up with Best I Can, Damage, The Whisper, Breaking the Silence. I Don't Believe in Love, which is a BC favorite, I know. Silent Lucidity,
I lost my voice
Guardian,
during that song.
Queen of the Reich, Jet City Woman, Take Hold of the Flame, Screaming in Digital, Eyes of a Stranger. But just a great set. Like Best I Can is always a good song to see live. And I almost, because Damaged is one of my favorite
was-
friggin'
I saw the
Queensryche
set list.
songs. Oh, did you really?
From a couple shows prior to this, so I was kind of knew what was coming, and I was looking forward to.
I love
to,
Damaged. I think
Damaged
that's great.
and the Whisper.
In the Whisper, in Rage for Order. I was tongue-tied there. Rage for Order is a great album. I think it's a very underrated Queensryche album. Imagine if they did one video from that album. If they did, they were out in the video age when it was really coming to the forefront. They could have did some really interesting videos for those songs.
Yeah,
on that.
they had.
Because the only one they did was I Want to Get Close to You. It was the only one that they did from that. I mean, they could have did London. They could have
Walk in the Shadows.
Walk in the Shadows.
I love
They could have
Walk in the
just
Shadows.
Walk in the Shadows.
Which I
is always
can't
a
believe
great
they
song.
didn't play, but
I thought they were going to do that.
I think they threw in Screaming in Digital, which was a nice surprise.
Yeah, that was cool. That was cool.
It seemed like every band threw in that song that you didn't expect.
Which is great. Which I'm glad they did. At least you get some nugget,
Right.
good nugget.
It wasn't the same old. Here's our 6 songs we play every M3, and
Right.
thank you, good night.
Yeah, and Breaking the Silence was cool. That's always a good song. The background in that song is great. I Don't Believe in Love is always a great song. And even Silent Lucidity, I don't even mind that. I can
I
absolutely
like that
live
one.
with that song.
It's a nice like palate cleanser of a song.
I'm going to need Dylan's help on this. Who is the drummer now? I'm drawing a blank.
In Queensryche?
Yes.
Yeah, Scott Rocketfield.
A lot of people are giving this
on
guy slack,
maternity
but
leave.
I thought he's good.
He's on maternity leave.
Yeah,
Yeah, but that's been a while now. So there's been rumor talk now that he's not coming back. I don't know how true that is.
Yeah.
Shit is-
Just
But,
not
the
saying
guy
anything.
was good though. The guy.
Oh yeah,
the guy
he's
was
right
really
on.
real good.
He's right on.
And some guy that was parked next to us was
kind of looks like
like,
Marilyn Manson. I have to say that. I'm sorry.
I thought he looked more like the drummer from friggin' Jackal.
With the hair, but
Yeah.
he had that.
At least he didn't have
He has the
at least he didn't have the
Casey
the,
Grillo from Camelot.
Camelot. Okay.
Yeah,
But he had that Marilyn Manson feel.
but he was good though. He was
real
really
good.
good.
Yeah.
And Guardian from their newest album, I think is a great, definitely a classic Queensryche sounding
Yeah.
song. Great chorus in it, just a great rocking song. Then they did Empire, but when they did a great transition in that song where the talking part on the studio version comes in, they transitioned from that like right before the solo, and without doing that part, I thought it sounded friggin' great. I thought they just did a great job of just chopping that part out of the song and continuing along with the song. Because I mean, I always thought that was a momentum killer in that song.
Yeah.
I mean, it was cool when the solo kicked back in, but it was very cool to hear them do it that way without all that crap in the middle and just go right, continue with the song with all that shit in the middle.
Need that in there.
Yeah. Then they did the very first Queensryche song that I heard, Queen of the Reich, which was like fucking, that's a tear your head off song.
Yeah.
Jet City Woman, I could kind of live without that one. That was my
That's a good one.
my not so favorite song on the set list. Another BC favorite, Take Hold of the Flame.
Take Hold of the Flame.
Maurice said before, Screaming in Digital, definitely a
Nice.
cool nugget thrown in there that you don't normally get to see. You see it once in a while, but you don't get to see that a whole lot. And of course, they closed the night out with Eyes of a Stranger, which I think was I like how the song builds at the end. Like it just keeps getting.
A hidden gem for a closer. I think they just start because usually Take Hold of the Flame is a big, or Jet City Woman. Any of them songs, or even Empire they close with.
I'd rather see them close with
Eyes of a Stranger. Kind of just came out of nowhere, and now it's the perfect.
Yeah, it was great. I think overall, I think Queensryche, and I kind of agree with you, BC. It was a lot better than which I don't know why I didn't think they weren't going to be great. I don't know why. I really don't.
Not that they weren't going to be great or good. I don't know. Like maybe it's because everybody's giving them slack. Oh, they're headlining 10th anniversary. Blah blah.
I saw them a couple months ago up in Turning Stone, and they were phenomenal. And I remember posting that, they're going to surprise a lot of people because they really kicked ass. I thought they were top 3.
I think I'm going off of the last time that we saw them. We saw them with Armored Saint in New York City. It was myself, BC, Dylan, and Girth, right?
Yeah, at the what's it called?
Jim Dolkowski?
No, I'm trying to remember the name of the venue.
Oh, I don't know.
Gramercy?
No, it wasn't the Gramercy. You could look it up, Dylan. Anyway, I think I was basing it off of that because I got sick during that show. And,
How so?
Well, we had a bad dinner choice, and it's definitely on me. I said, let's go. We went to Chipotle.
Oof.
Which absolutely fucking killed me.
That was super.
I was Subway right next door.
That was my one and only time ever.
No one pointed it out to me. All you guys had to say, well, let's do this instead. Everyone's like, okay.
Nobody was listening.
I never been.
So we went there and I felt great. And we were right up front for Armored Saint. Armored Saint just like totally fucking rocked the fucking house.
Yeah.
And about when Armored Saint was getting Irving Plaza. Thank you, Dylan. I started to not feel good and it was one of them sickness where you don't know if you're gonna
crap or
throw
throw
up or shit your pants. And it was just kind of one of them where you just want to. I have not eaten there since. Where you don't want to move. You know what I mean? You just don't want to move. And maybe halfway through Queensryche, I started to feel a little better, and then I started to enjoy the show. So I think I was basing it on that. Stupidly.
That could make for a rough night.
It was a rough night.
When you're afraid to move,
Good show though.
It was.
Armored Saint was.
I'm like, you guys can stay up front. I said, I got to go back and stand against the
that
wall or
happened to me in Wilkes-Barre for an Ranger, I want to say.
I was like, holy.
I was afraid to move my leg. I was like, you're like, what's wrong? I'm like,
it was like Ranger. I'm rocking out, and I looked down at BC. He's just standing there. I'm like, I didn't know he was. I was afraid to move. It's a good thing. It's a good thing your girlfriend was standing next to you because if you weren't beating the shit out of me, I would have been beating the shit out of you. I would have literally beat the shit out of BC.
I was afraid to move my leg. I'm like, oh my god.
And speaking of beating the shit out of you and Rob beat the shit out of me on Friday night.
Where?
Who did the drum solo on Friday night? During the Kicks drum solo. The both of you were pounding the piss out of me from each side.
Like you were pounding the piss out of me for Night Ranger and...
I think we were all doing a little of that. I was hanging all over BC. We were rocking. It was...
No, but this was literally just punching me and punching me and punching me from both sides. And then BC was hitting my back. I'm like, well, down a little bit further. Down a little bit further. But
Insurance didn't cover it.
yeah. But Queensryche, I'll tell you what, they brought it. I definitely left that evening a happy camper.
I thought that was one of the best M3s.
Yeah, I
I
really super
have
enjoyed
to agree
it
with
this
that
year.
because like when it first came out, it was like I'm going, like they built it up like 10th anniversary.
Yeah.
You figured it'd be something. Then there was like six or seven less bands than normal. I was just like, what the hell? But in the end,
In the end,
it's one of the best.
it turned out great.
I thought it was a great M3. Every band was solid. There wasn't one bad band, I don't think.
I didn't mind
There was
the
just one
stage.
not so good band.
Well, one
Ace?
not so
Well,
good.
right. But that gives us, that was a lot of conversation.
That notwithstanding.
That's a perfect
absolutely.
conversation
We spent a good
piece,
20 minutes on that,
You know?
absolutely.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, they were bad, but they were entertaining, I
I'll
guess.
tell you what, the band wasn't. Ace just had problems,
Right.
And the band. I'll
The
tell you what,
performance was
that
bad,
that shows
I
you
guess.
what a professional band that Ace has.
Yes.
You know, Richie Scarlett, I think he likes to pose more than like to play guitar. But him, Chris Wise, not Dennis Wise, because at the end of the show, Ace is introducing the guys. He goes, "Hey, Dennis Wise on bass." You can see him look like that's not my fucking name. And then
I remember the first time I saw Richie Scarlett.
Richie Scarlett.
Scarlett.
Too much terrible.
We saw with the Fifth Avenue Vampires.
Hollywood Vampires.
No,
No, Fifth Ave. No, I'm
Fifth
thinking
Avenue
of Holly.
Vampires.
Yeah, it is Fifth.
Yeah.
His guitar was out during their cover of Dream Police,
Mm-hmm.
and then he got it working right in time for the solo, and it came. And it was actually really cool because like there was no guitar, and then all of a sudden it's solo, and it's like.
Yeah, and Scott Coogan. And Scott Coogan, like, and he picked up a lot of the vocals where Ace
Yeah.
would just walk away from the microphone. So, Ace, I know you're out there listening. We love you. Hope, whatever was going on, you got taken care of or will
Fix
get
it before
taken
the
care
cruise.
of. And we'll definitely be seeing
Fix it if you
you
were
on
Gene
Kiss
Tour.
Cruise 8. Myself, Chris, we're trying to get BC to go.
You know, it'd be really cool if like
We're going to do a GoFundMe for BC to go on the Kiss Cruise.
it'd be really cool if like Kiss was doing their show and Paul did the intro to Shock Me from Alive 2 and like brought out Ace to sing it.
On the Kiss Cruise?
Yeah.
That's not going to
That's for
happen.
you tonight. Turn over the microphone to Ace.
I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think.
I'm not
you may see Ace and Bruce out on stage, or maybe even or Vinny if Vinny is on the Kiss Cruise, which I'm thinking probably not. But I think if you saw those guys, the other Kiss members on stage with Kiss on the Kiss Cruise, it's going to be during the non-makeup show. I don't think you would see those guys come out during the makeup show on the theater show on the cruise. I think it would be just Bruce come up for Hide Your Heart, Ace come up for 2,000 Man or something, and Vinny come up for like I Love It Loud or something. I think that's probably all you would get to see because I think that's maybe all that Paul Stanley would allow, if that, allow or tolerate.
I think if the ship was sinking and they said, come on, let's do one more song, they'd
Like the Titanic
Paul would be
band.
like, nah, nobody's
I
listening.
go into my lifeboat.
Probably. And rightfully so. I got to stick up for the man. They had their chance.
They've been burned before,
Right.
You had your chance. You blew it.
more than once.
And Ace was doing so good.
Maybe
Said
he's
it's wrong.
I mean, hey,
Maybe he's an off pick.
yeah,
Stating the obvious.
yeah. So Ace,
I
we know
gotta
you're out
say,
there. We love you. We're and everyone out there. We're not bashing Ace by
absolutely
by
not.
no stretch of the imagination.
made
We're just
big
saying what we
contributions
witnessed
to
with our own
the
eyes. I know there's a lot of speculation online out there. We're just telling you guys what actually happened, and we were. It's not like we were back on the lawn watching this. We were like in the fifth row.
Yeah.
So we were literally right there. It was just
Watching around.
more disconcerting than anything like what the fuck kind of deal. But
Because it was, I don't know, it was one of the ones I was looking forward to.
Yeah, I was looking forward
Oh,
to
absolutely,
it too.
absolutely.
Cool.
I mean,
Seeing him,
He's at a
he's been
festival.
great.
because like that was like one of the main things when they first put out the list of the bands. Like, holy fuck, Ace is playing. That's
It was his first time.
right, because an Ace is not real. They want the quotations hair bands. Ace, no stretch of the imagination is involved in that at all.
No.
But it was I think that having Ace on there puts some other
Butts
asses
in the seats.
I
Yeah.
think so.
Yeah, I think so.
I think so. But
And that's going to be their job for next year is putting more butts in the seats because there were a lot of empty seats.
I think there were a lot of empty seats. What did you guys think of the crowd?
Oh, the right stage right and stage left was
Well,
empty.
if you notice, and
Seats.
maybe it was just me, I think that when they remodeled, they made everything down front wider. So those on the end, I don't think they lost too many seats
I wonder if
compared to last year.
if those seats weren't
They might not even have been
weren't
sold.
available to be sold
Right.
when they
Right. It might not have
because
been
those
sure
seats
it
may
was-
not even physically have
Because
existed.
somebody posted that
The whole thing collapsed, prior.
That's true.
if
that.
somebody said that somebody posted online that if you need pavilion seats, go onto Ticketfly because they just released
Probably
204 and 304. That they just released
Those were
them.
those two sections.
Yeah, so
the
I don't
section
think.
The one
on
right
our-
below that ledge where we stood there.
On our
Yeah.
side, there was no chairs in it. On
Yeah.
our side, there was.
Yeah.
Right. So I don't think.
But even the lawn was, you could see grass.
Yeah, there was.
I was up there for Tom
Key.
Kiefer, and there was a lot of people on that lawn.
But during
It really
the day
was.
when we were standing up in the VIP part, we were looking up, and actually even when we were standing up in the VIP part, and like you would never be able to before to see that path that goes across the middle.
I think they just put that in. That little.
Did they?
Yeah, that wasn't there
Oh.
all the time.
But you would never be able to see that space though. It was all just all
There's all
people.
I-
But there was you've seen a lot of green up there.
We should get our research staff on seeing what the attendance was this year.
I would like to see the attendance.
Number for
That's your job, Chris. Look that up.
I will.
That's why I said I
Report back.
I will.
Speaking of VIP, what came with that package?
We did the VIP. Our fifth row seats came with
Fifth
the
row
VIP.
seat, a kick in the ass.
We got
Did you get bottle openers?
We're kicking
What
it
is
out.
that thing? That
What
round thing. What is that?
I don't know what
It's like a magnet, but it's not a magnet. It's a sticky.
It has
Yeah.
like 3 inch tape
It's
on the
this. This without a magnet. It's got
Yeah.
some kind of
The
sticky
suction
stuff on
thing.
it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't actually.
didn't
Mine's
know
still.
that.
I
Oh,
didn't
is it a
look at
pop socket?
That's what it is.
This? Like
Yeah.
that?
Yes.
Is
yes,
that,
it
is
is.
that what it is?
Is that what
Yes,
it
it
is?
is.
Yeah,
Holy
you
shit.
put them on the back of your phone and like
You can stand it up.
Yeah, you have, it's like a stand.
That's exactly what it is.
awesome.
You guys got any pop sockets? That's awesome.
We did.
Heard of-
I kind of
Puppet
want
socket.
it.
Everybody's looking
that
at their
your phone
post and
or
they're like,
is
what
that
the hell is this?
That's
A
my
sock
phone.
puppet?
Pop socket.
No, the foamy.
Oh,
Chris knows what
yeah.
a sock
Oh, I
puppet
brought
is.
that
Oh.
to give to BB. Yeah, we got
This is
an
not-
M3 10th
you're not
anniversary
BB?
foamy. There was a poster.
poster,
There was a
Sharpie,
Sharpie
t-shirt.
sunscreen.
Sunscreen.
A cup?
There was
Oh,
a
yeah.
cup.
10th anniversary cup.
I got an extra foamy because we were there getting them out. And I'm like, hey, dude, I'm like, can I get another foamy? He's like, sure.
I just
Yeah,
love
he
that
said,
BB
here,
stole
Steve, now beat it.
the bottle opener from
Girth.
From Girth beat
last
it.
year.
He's the only one. And Girth gets the one. I never saw that. I never saw anybody else. The
What?
Guitar bottle opener.
Yeah,
I have that.
I got one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Only one of us got it last year.
Bring it next time so we can borrow it.
Okay. There it is.
There it is.
Oh, just leave it here for the.
BB
Get going.
stole-
This
You get donated
this
to the
is one of my
podcast.
favorite
go-to.
M3 treasures.
Everybody go through.
We didn't get them though.
No.
I don't know why that year we didn't get them. Well, Rob's still waiting for a shirt from like 6 years ago, I think.
I can't believe they had M3 pop sockets. That's awesome.
I didn't know what
Now
it
I
was.
know what it
Mine's
is.
still in the. Mine's in the. I think mine's left mine in my cup. I think.
Yeah, I'm looking at. I got home. Look at.
And then you got a bag to carry it in, which it was like a purse kind of thing, like
Satchel.
satchel. There you go. It was European. It was a European carry-all.
European carry-on. But
Indiana Jones carries one.
oh, okay, that's not there.
But it came in handy because I put my kick drumstick
Yeah.
in it that night. Thanks, Maurice.
You're welcome.
But I mean, go
do
to
what I can
overall.
for the humans.
Let's go around the table here. Top three bands for M3. Let's start with
You can't start with me.
BC.
I wasn't there.
I know I can't start with Dylan. I was looking at Dylan.
Oh God, Night Ranger, Y&T, and Striper.
Okay,
all.
Maurice.
Oh, that's,
we'll
a,
just go this way.
that's a hard choice. I don't even know if these are in order, but
I just see.
No,
I think I'm
Top
going to
three in
go with
general.
Kicks, Night Ranger, and Queensryche.
Striper, Night Ranger, and Queensryche. But Night Ranger was the best.
Night
I
Ranger
could
was the
easily
best.
throw Striper in there if they had a bigger set,
Longer set.
And Kicks was really good too. It's tough.
But I can't. As much as I love Striper, Kicks just brought it. Night Ranger brought it, and so did
blew your fuse,
Queensryche.
didn't they? They blew your fuse, didn't they?
They
How about
did,
you?
especially.
My top three, I would say it's going to be.
If you say Tom Kiefer, I'm coming over.
I'm not. I'm gonna say Night Ranger and Queensryche, and I don't know. I want to say last in line. I think with Kicks, just I I'm going to put Kicks ahead of Last Line just a little bit because of the length of their set. And
if you told yourself from last year that Kicks was one of your top things,
I wouldn't have believed myself. I wouldn't have believed myself.
Yeah.
But just like I said before, just seeing those guys do the whole album of Blow My Fuse, and that's an album I honestly had not listened to in its entirety in years.
Long
and
time.
I'm talking maybe
20
decades.
Yeah.
Easy.
You hear Blow My Fuse and you hear Cold Blood and stuff like that. And how about back to that real quick when they were doing the crowd participation part for Cold Blood, he puts the thing down and Cold Blood, and then the one guy's like, Cold Blood is what you'll bleed or something like that. And he's like, you don't even know the fucking words.
Yeah,
The first guy just was going.
He goes, woo.
Right.
He goes, Cold Blood is all you. Woo.
Two guys in the front row, no idea.
Yeah.
He turns around the rest of the band. That's the new lyrics. Woo!
I forgot about that.
That was funny.
That was funny as shit. But I mean, it was cool. It was a great night, and I want to thank you guys for coming here and sharing this with us. Like I said, Rob was going to be here with us, but he had a family thing going on there. So
it's probably good we didn't make him relive the Ace Frehley.
That's true. Maybe that's why he didn't.
I think the real reason is because he's still upset about Ace.
Yeah,
It's possible.
he's in Ace rehab now.
Simon Garfunkel's playing it. He's looking at a picture.
Yeah, so we'll go once around the table. Plug your stuff. Your I was gonna say stuff.
Plug my stuff.
Plug your stuff, man.
Plug your stuff. your CD, your band.
Reach for the Sky. Gang vocals, pick slides and screams.
Yeah.
And rock garb clothing.
Out now at select Kmart's.
It's gonna be like that. They don't sell CDs anymore.
And Abe's.
They don't?
No. It's the last time
We're hoping that this will come out on vinyl. Any vinyl plans?
I don't know, but I will look into it for you.
All right.
You got to have at least 100.
Very cool.
Is it the minimum of 100?
From what I'm gathering, it seems like that.
That's what it seems like.
Okay, maybe. Well,
To get on the map. You got 2 right here. So.
what am I going to do with the other?
You got 90. You got 90.
Those are big posters.
Sell them as frisbees.
What do you want to plug?
I got nothing. No.
Well, you can at least say goodnight.
I am going to say goodnight. But excellent M3 with great bunch of guys. I don't think we could have more fun with too many other people. It was I mean, great bunch of guys.
Yeah. I had a good time.
Nobody got arrested. It's always a good time. Almost got thrown out, but that's
True.
That's for another podcast. I'm just going to plug Lizzie Borden next month, June 15th. People, get ready for
There
the
it is.
return of Lizzie.
Did you pre-order?
Oh, you're damn right.
I did.
Damn right, I did.
Which one did you order?
Just the CD and shirt.
Okay, I did the one vinyl, the CD, and shirt. I
BC
think.
did 2 vinyl.
I did both vinyls, the shirt, the CD, and breakfast in bed with them. I did
He's
everything.
currently in debt
The
to
guy
Lizzie
saying he
Borden.
has no money.
I know. If you just get the one vinyl, you could go on the fucking Kiss Cruise.
Talk to them.
The cat is out of the bag.
If Ace is off the Kiss Cruise, throw Lizzie in there.
I would have loved to see Lindsay.
I think they're playing on the Kiss Cruise.
Remortgage house.
Lizzie Borden.
When you do your M3 survey, put in Lizzie Borden.
Oh, God.
That's what I do.
Any final words, Dylan, even though you weren't there?
I wish I could have been there. It sounds like a really awesome M3. I will definitely try and be able to be there. Since I'm not graduating, I should be able to go next year. I wish I could have seen Night Ranger again because they always kick ass. And Striper, I love their new album, so hearing some songs off of that would have been really cool. So I'm sorry I missed it.
All right, cool. I want to thank Chris and Maurice for coming and sharing their M3 stories with us. And Maurice actually hit it on the head. It was a great bunch of friends that we had down there. We had a great time. And my main thing with going to M3 every year is the bands are secondary for me. It's just the good time of hanging out with my friends and not have to worry about work and any other kind of stressful bullshit, except when BC claims to be fucking roofied. But it's just a good time. The music is definitely secondary, just to having a good time with your friends and look at it, we're still laughing like fools for all the shit that take crazy shit. No, what do you say?
Maurice. Don't laugh. I could have died.
Yeah, okay. See, and it's shit like this, and this is just a tip of the iceberg of the amount of laughing and ball busting that goes on when we get together like this, and it's just a good weekend and a good time. Shit, we didn't talk about fucking Sunday yet, BC. I know Chris has got to go. Maybe we could take a little break, then we'll do a little Sunday.
Yeah, I just want to say, Jason, if you're, God forbid, you're listening to this podcast, glad you came this year. Great. The three of us went to Rocklahoma 2 years.
First 2 years of
First 2
Rocklahoma.
years of Rocklahoma, and just always fun with Jason. So.
Yeah.
Hey, as soon as I saw him, I'm like, yeah. He goes, I've never been here before. I'm like, And he goes, but maybe the bus trips. I'm like,
real good guy, Jay. It was good. Like we had met before, but good hanging with you and having some beers and some laughs with you.
definitely.
But really good guy. And thank you guys once again. We'll take a little break. We'll come back. BC and I will give everybody the lowdown on Sunday's activities. And you guys, thanks for helping us out.
Thank you.
Rock on.
Thank you.
All right, here we are. It's back. It's just BC, Dylan, and I, and we are going to talk about BC and I went to the unofficial day 3 of M3 on May 6th on the Sunday. It's called the Sleazy Slimy Sunday. It was the third year for it, apparently. BC and I, we didn't do any VIP or anything like that. There was a little bit of confusion at the beginning with when we were supposed to go in. The tickets said doors open at 12:30, but we didn't know that was for the ultimate VIP. And that was for the people that went in. Steve Whiteman and his daughter did an acoustic performance, which, I don't think either one of us are heartbroken that we missed that.
Nah, I can live with that.
And so we just kind of hung out in the parking lot and had a couple beers and shot the shit with some people and everything. And then, so we got there, literally got there at 12:30, and it was about 10 after 3 by the time we got in the door.
Actually.
So we had a couple beverages in the parking lot beforehand, which was okay.
Just two.
Because it turned out to be really good because it turned out to be an extremely long day. And so we get in there. First band was already maybe halfway through their set. They were called Old School. They were a cover band from Philadelphia. Really good hard rock band. They did some Britney Fox. They were doing Motley Crue Live Wire, I think, when we walked in, and which was really cool. And they did some Britney Fox
and covered Heaven's Edge.
Yeah, what cover band out there plays Heaven's Edge? I mean, it was just cool as shit. And and it does say on their banner, Old School Rocks Philly or something like that. So they're from Philadelphia. So I'm sure they probably even know those guys in Heaven's Edge. So they were really cool. And then the main reason that we ended up going to this Sleazy Slimy Sunday was that Denman was playing there. And if you guys have listened to the show at all, you know that I'm plugging these guys all the time. I was going to say a very derogatory term towards myself, but I decided not to. Dylan would have edited it out anyways. But this is the band that we checked out in Nashville last year at the Rock and Pod Expo. These guys, they played the Cobra the night before the Expo. Young band. They've had out an EP since 2016. It's called The Life We Live, and just a ripping 5-song EP. Bunch of young guys. Originally, Ben and Dakota Denman, originally from New York. They moved to Nashville to get their music going, and they just kicked total ass. And we went there to see them. We talked to them briefly before they went on. And just really cool.
Definitely very cool. I mean, we even got to meet their dad. Was in the crowd rocking out, and Steve goes, "That's their dad," because it looks just like him, and it ended up being their father. We thought that was pretty cool. I thought.
Yeah, he was cool. He was right up front, right on the rail, rocking out, and it took, I think, I want to say maybe half of their first song to win the crowd over. We talked to people afterwards, and they just were like, "Holy fuck! These guys were great. They sounded great. They look friggin'. They are a goddamn rock band.
I think they were one of the best sounding bands that day.
Absolutely, and we'll definitely get into the sound of the other bands as we go along.
I mean, they were loud, but they weren't.
They were crisp sounding,
Really crisp
sounding. Just a great band. they did. BC was happy. They did a cover of a Lizzie Borden song.
That must have been for you.
They did. They did a version. They did a version of "Born to Be Wild," but Lizzie Borden covers that, so we consider that a Lizzie Borden song. So BC was really happy with that. They did "High Heels and Leather." They did they did their whole EP with the exception. I don't think they did "Wild in the Streets."
No,
but they did.
They finished it off with the.
They finished off with the new track.
Rip your face off.
Fucking
double bass. I mean, it was.
This was a thrash metal song.
It was very like. I don't know. By that time, it's just the drummer is like phenomenal. He just ripping it up with the double bass and the guitars. I'm like, if the rest of the album is like this one,
yeah,
I cannot wait.
Yeah, and the rest of the guys in the band. I'm sorry, I didn't mention. Ted Carroll is the bass player, or Ted is the drummer rather. Ted Carroll is the drummer, and Robbie Creedy is the bass player. All super nice guys. We actually talked to. I talked to Dakota and I talked to Ted at M3 on Friday night, and then BC had talked to all of them. He had seen them all, but they're just a friggin' ripping band. Their album's going to be coming out sometime in June. They said they thought it was coming out. It's produced by Michael Wagner. The album's going to be called Raw Deal. They showed us the artwork that's going to be having. It's very cool artwork on the front of it, and the new song that they closed the song their set out with was called Poison City, and this song would just tear your fucking head off. Just a cranking song. And they also did a version of Seek and Destroy from Metallica, which was just totally cranking. And I'll tell you what, when they got done, the crowd was like going crazy. They won everybody over. They sounded great. They're just a great rock band. And we talked to people in the crowd afterwards, and like, holy shit,
people that never saw them before.
We never saw these guys, never heard of them. They just totally love these guys, and and they're pretty much the reason that we went.
Yeah.
And even though they played maybe half an hour maybe, but it was my opinion probably the best half hour of the whole thing. I just
best sound
rocked out. We talked to the guys a bunch of times after it. And actually, they'd be walking through. They'd stop and chat with us for a little while, then move on. We talked with Ben about building the headstock on his guitars. His fret marks on his Explorer guitar were middle fingers. It was really cool.
Cool. And the hockey stick on the top.
Yeah.
I said that's cool. His own little trademark thing there.
Yeah, so those guys were great. You guys, like I said before, check those guys out. We will definitely let you know when their new album comes out, and hopefully we will get them on the podcast when that comes out. We'll get the whole lowdown for everybody out there, what's going on with those guys. And then Streetlight Circus came on next. Good. They played M3 a bunch of times. They were
one of the
opening bands, on
early
Friday,
risers.
early guys, either on Friday or an early guy on Saturday. They were good, but their sound was a little muffled. I don't know.
Real muffled.
I don't know. They were good. The songs were really good, but the sound just it wasn't there. The crispness was not there.
Then you're coming up after Dimmin. So
Yeah. I think they were definitely a tough act to follow. They have a good following. They had a bunch of people there that had the Streetlight Circus.
They've been around for
shirts
years.
on. They've been around for a long time, and they have a couple albums out. So you might want to check those guys out there. Every Mother's Nightmare. Another main reason we came down. We stayed the extra day to see these guys. Rick Rule and Jim Phipps. We had them on an interview on the podcast. Very solid band. They came out. They did a great set. They started to do Walls Come Down. Maybe the third set, this song in the set, maybe.
Yeah.
And the guy that put it on, Brad Lee, the guy's name is, a cool guy. He'd come out between the bands and bullshit a little bit and say, about what's going on and everything. So he comes out in the middle of the song and he's like, "Whoa, everybody stop." And the band's like, you could truly tell that they had no idea what this fucking guy was doing. So he makes them stop, and Rick's looking at him like, "What the fuck?" And then so they brought out, I don't know, were they gold records?
Platinum.
They were platinum records?
Yeah. I was asking when I was talking to him at the bar later on. I said, "What was the deal with the plaque award? I don't know what you want to call it." He goes, "It's kind of like the equivalent of platinum record back in the day." It's like,
which was cool. They brought out a copy of it for each guy. They got the picture taken and everything. So then the Brad Lee guy said, they'll finish the song," which they never revisited the song. So we only got to see maybe a minute of Walls Come Down. But they were still good. They did an awesome version of Blown Away. That is definitely one of my, and it's unusual for me because it's a slower song. It's not a ballad, but it's a more of a mid-tempo song,
Mid-tempo song, yeah.
but it's friggin' fantastic, and it's one of my favorite songs from those guys. They did a great version of it. They just kicked ass.
Definitely, I mean, typical Every Moore's Nightmare. I mean, to me, I like that Richard Drummer back, Jim's back with them. To me, I don't know. I'm kind of a
BC wants the original
I wanna
guys.
see the
That's why he
original
wants
guys.
Peter, Chris, and Ace back in Kiss.
I keep wishing for that,
But I mean, they were great. Sal, they put in a great set. Kicking Valentina came up next.
we went inside.
We decided to
take a little break,
take a break and to
Try to get
attempt to get something to eat.
which was a big failure.
Yeah, and we hadn't eaten all day. We had maybe 5 or 6 beers out in the parking lot before we got in, and we had beers once we got in there. We're hungry. So I go up to the bar, and the waitress yelled at me because I was at their pickup station or whatever. So she yelled at me, but I'm like, I don't give a shit. I want to get some goddamn food here.
She could have
So
kicked your ass.
Probably. So the bartender tells me, that the kitchen's closed for 10 minutes because they can't catch up on orders.
Yeah, all right, okay.
So he says, come back. So, all right, well, give me 2 beers anyway. So we get more beer. So we go up to one of the tables on the side. We sit down, and then we go back in a little while, and then the kitchen's closed.
And I went down. The kitchen's closed now for a while.
Yeah, no.
So I don't know.
So
It's just-
we ended up actually not eating the whole night, which was which was torture. I mean, we eventually stopped drinking because it would have been like really bad. So like I said, we missed Kicking Valentina. Sorry guys out there.
we heard you from inside.
We did. He sounded
very
good from what we heard. Ted Poley came up next. He was good. He's put
always
out
good,
a really, really good, energetic set.
And it
His
was
band was good. They were tight. They sounded good. They sounded really good.
He always puts on a good show. He, like you talked about Robert Mason being rock and roll. Ted Poley is just, he's real.
He's a rock and roller, absolutely.
rock and roller.
And one of the weird things about when Ted Poley played was he threw out handfuls and handfuls of balloons that weren't blown up. So apparently, if you caught one, you had to blow it up and knock it through the crowd. But everyone was picking them up, and no one was blowing them up. Everyone was just picking them up and putting them in their pockets. I think maybe 3 or 4 balloons made it to be blown up and be knocked around the crowd. But
yeah, that was a little
it
different.
was pretty cool. And Taiketo Singer came up and did a couple songs with them. They
Did a
did
couple
Rock and
songs,
Roll All Night. They did the one Danger song. Naughty Naughty.
Naughty Naughty.
They did Naughty Naughty.
They closed off, yeah.
And they closed it up the set, which was really cool. And Ted Poley, I'll tell you what, he played for a lot longer than I thought he would. He played
for a
a good hour at least. And he put in a really good set.
And then I think we tried to attempt food another time, but
Yeah, it was
totally
aborted.
done it,
Yeah, and let me just backtrack a little bit before our first attempt for food. We went up to the merch stand for Every Mother's Nightmare. They had an event shirt for Every Mother's Nightmare, and it was all they had left was like a friggin' medium or something like that. And I don't even think I would get that over my head. And then there was another shirt that I wanted, and so the girl that her dad owned High Vol Music that is the record label that Every Mother's Nightmare is on. She was working the merch stand, so I said, give me this other shirt. And she's like, okay. She said, what size? So I gave her my size. So I'm walking away. I look at it, and it wasn't the right size. I'm like, I need I'm a large man. I needed the bigger size shirt. She goes, oh, I'm sorry, you gave me the wrong one. But if I didn't look at that shirt, I'd have got home, and I'd been like, what the fuck? Dylan would have got another shirt out of the deal.
Dylan would have another shirt.
So I went back, and she looked, and she said she can't find it. So then there was another guy there, and this guy, he went through all the shirts behind the thing, and he said, hang on. He said, I know we have one somewhere. So he went out to their tour bus and tore that apart, came back, still didn't find the shirt, and lo and behold, he flips up the tablecloth, and there's a box under there, and he gets one from underneath there. So he
right
went
there?
all outside, ripped everything apart, and he finally got me a shirt. So, and I went up to the leader of High Vol Music, and I said, hey, I just want to give you a shout out to your worker here. You went above and beyond the Call of Duty. He said, fuck him, he's my cousin or something like that, he said. So, but the guy, you know what, I don't recall your name, sir, but if you're out there listening, thank you for going above and beyond to get that shirt for me. And but I mean, they had a lot of merch though. They had there was Every Mother's Nightmare coffee.
Yes, I've seen it online. I was like, ooh, okay. So eventually I'm going to get it, but I didn't feel like carrying that around the rest of it because you couldn't leave the venue. But
Unless you want to pay $50 to get back in.
I did pick up the reissued of Delta Smoking Voodoo with the different album cover and 4 bonus tracks, I think, are on it.
Have you listened to it yet?
I have not listened to it. But
I'll have to check that out.
Hopefully tonight when I go home and
because they just put out a new video for that too. Also, I think the day before the show, day or two before the show came out.
great album.
It was cool. And then so we were out there for Ted Poley. Babylon AD came on next. They were good. I've never seen them live before. And
I always said,
and they're a band like I know, but I don't know. And then they're playing a song. I'm like, oh shit, I know that song. And then they play it. I was like, oh shit, I know that one too. They're a band that played maybe 3 or 4 songs that I knew, but didn't realize was them. And for as much as all the stuff we listened to, they're a band that kind of escaped my radar. I know BC's more familiar with these guys.
yeah, definitely. I've been listening to Babylon for years and years since
Because he does Babylon.
I've been Babylon on, especially when I drink. But yeah, they came out and they were like ripping through it. I thought the drummers.
They were great. Yeah, the drummer had a really weird setup. It's going to be hard to describe.
No, it was Junkyard.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Slow down.
Wrong guy.
But they went through their set, like I said.
They were good. They were solid.
Really
they were a good band. So
Then we
and they
went
have a new
into-
CD out. Check that out.
Check them out. Very good CD. Revolution Highway.
Revolution Highway. I think that was one of BC's picks. I think BC's or BB's picks for our albums of the year when we did it last year, right? That was one that someone picked that, I think.
Comeback, maybe?
Or maybe
Comeback?
BB picked it as a gem or something. I know
Something
we talked
like
about it.
And,
So then
we went inside for a little bit. I think there was a little bit of a break there. Maybe that's where everything got.
yeah, because everything for some reason got backed up because LA Guns, who was the headliner, was supposed to hit the stage at 11:30 p.m. That did not even come close to happening. No. And I want to give my buddy Art Wren a shout out. He was one of my buddies from the Kiss Cruise. Got to be good friends with him and his wife Karen on the Kiss Cruises. Great people. And Art came to the show and he met us there, hung out with us. Had a bunch of bullshit sessions with him. He hung out. We had a really good time and. I just want to give you a shout out, Art. Thanks for coming out and hanging with us. Say hello to Karen for me, and your brother-in-law Keith, who was my cabin mate on Kiss Cruise 6. Really super nice guy. But Junkyard came on after Babylon AD. They were great. They were a great band.
They're just a kick-ass
Rock and
no
roll.
thrills.
Yep.
Like put them in a bar anywhere in the world and they just play rock and roll.
I think this show was a perfect setting for Junkyard.
Oh yeah.
I think they fit this venue and this event absolutely perfectly. And now I could talk about the drummer's crazy setup. He had a bass drum, a hi-hat, 2 cymbals, but the cymbals were angled out towards the crowd. So like they weren't even straight, or you'll see the drummers, they'll have their cymbals angled towards them, but he had
and the snare drum.
And the snare drum was the head of the snare drum was facing the crowd. So it was, and he had no tom-toms except for a floor tom on the side. And it was just weird watching him play those. I mean, he was great. He kicked ass playing them drums.
But their music is straightforward. There's no fancy,
no crazy fills or no Mike Portnoy kind of
No.
stick gymnastics or anything like that. But just a good, solid, straightforward rock band. And when they were playing, actually maybe a couple songs in, Tracy Guns was like behind the stage watching them the whole time.
Videoed most.
Yeah.
Of it.
That's right.
He does a lot of Facebook Live. I don't know if he was doing it. He's always doing his Facebook Live.
That's cool. And they were good. And then the guys from Babylon AD came out and sang background vocals with them on the last couple songs they came out. And Junkyard, they tore it up. They were great, and they were another reason that we were very glad that we ended up going to this show. And
they were supposed to be the headliner, I guess.
Yeah. And now at this time, we don't know what took place, how it got so far backed up. BC and I, after
midnight now.
Oh, it's definitely after midnight. So at this point, we're like, we were shot. We're absolutely shot. So we went back out and sat down for a little bit and shot the shit with some people. Met some really cool guys that we got into the podcast. And, you guys are fucking awesome. We gave you guys some picks and bullshit with you guys for a while. And
you got a free beer out of that, too.
BC got a free... Go tell about the dispute there, BC.
I think we went down... Might have been... I don't know. About the food again. Who knows? So this one guy goes, hey, can you help me out? If you can help me out, I'll get you a beer. I'm like, oh, okay, I'll try. And he goes...
Stop twisting BC's arm.
So it started about tour. He wanted to know, like, Motley Crue and...
Who opened up?
What year was these tours and who opened up for them on each tour? And I said, this is a ground ball for me. So bam.
It's a wiffle ball grounder.
He's telling his friends, like, see, I told you. So I ended up having a beer. First to go be Bud Light. I said, please no. I can't do Bud Light. I can't do Budweiser or any product. I think it ended up with Coors Light.
But it was a free Coors Light.
Free beer is always good beer.
Yeah. So, we went back in, hung out, and LA Guns literally did not hit the stage till about 5 after 1. But I'll tell you what, they came out, they sounded excellent. They sounded great. Top form. I'm not sure who their drummer is now that replaced Steve Riley, but he was solid.
He's from, I could be wrong on this, but I think he was, remember when Tracy Guns had his own, he went on his own and did
Tracy Guns, LA Guns.
LA Guns. He was a drummer for that.
Okay. Very, very solid drummer. Bass player was great.
Yeah, so I want to say that's where he came from. The second guitar player, the new guy. Where is he from? I just saw it the other day. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah. And he was good. He was solid.
Yep.
He didn't really rock too much in the beginning, but then it seemed like he got into it more as the show went along. Tracy Guns, I'll tell you what, sounds great, looks great. He just absolutely tore it.
He makes the sound. Nothing gets any other guitar player that played for LA Guns.
And Phil Lewis sounded phenomenal. He sounded better than I had heard him in years. Yeah, that's true.
He does have to sit there tuning a guitar. He can.
But he was just, I'll tell you what, he was a great front man. I mean, he's always been a really great front man, but he was a little supercharged, I think, on this show. And for a band coming on at 1 o'clock in the morning, those guys just absolutely friggin' tore it up. Just tore it the fuck up. And they played a great set list. The songs you'd be used to. They did Speed from the new album, which was friggin' great. Rip and Tear they did. Bitches Back. One More Reason they did was fucking great.
Not a lot of talking, just built out the.
Well, he even said that. He said, we got a limited amount of time here. He said, so we're not going to talk in between songs. We're just going to tear right into it. Yeah, and it was. And so we were getting to the point where, we're do or die here. Tank was, the needle was starting to break off below E, I think. And
it was bad.
And we left there. We weren't even drunk anymore. We weren't even close to it.
Exhausted.
So the thing that saved us for the rest of the night is there was a Denny's in the parking lot of the hotel we stayed in. So we parked, went to Denny's. Where I think it was like 3:45, something like that.
It was at the 3.
We finally got to bed. So we had to eat. We had to get something to eat because I was
starved.
We were just like out of our minds, and there was a lot of people.
I would have ate my own arm that night in bed.
Yeah. I was. If there were French fries underneath the seat in the truck, I think I would have been friggin' eating them. But we went to Denny's, and I we just had a great second night, and I was glad we went.
Third night.
Third night. We're almost a week later recording this, and if you can hear, I'm sure you can hear my voice.
Our voice.
We're still
shot.
feeling the after effects of it, and I put it this way: all these bands, each band has a singer, and they sing one set. Unless you're Robert Mason, he sang 2 on Saturday. But we sang every set for every band that played for 3 days in a row.
Yeah.
It actually helped me out a little bit because I didn't know a lot of the Junkyard songs and a lot of the Ted Poley and a lot of the Babylon AD songs, so that gave me a little break in the action.
And whereas they got paid for their singing,
and we paid them, and we're actually still paying for it. All right, BC, what do you think? Highlight: Sleazy, Slimy Sunday. Give me 2 bands. Give me 2.
The highlight for me?
You tell.
Definitely Denman. And it's unlike me, Babylon D, because I never really got to see him. So, it was cool to see Babylon.
All right. I'm going to say Denman is definitely the number one for me.
They sounded the best.
And I gotta give it to LA Guns. I was so happy to see Tracy Guns back in LA Guns. Him and Phil Lewis, I think, are just a great nucleus of that band.
His sound, Tracy Guns'
how
sound.
Steve Riley ended up taking over that band. I don't know how that happened, but I think it was just great to see that duo back together, and you could tell they just absolutely gel.
Oh yeah.
And nothing against the other guitar player, and he played a couple solos too, and he tore it up. But I really wanted to see them with Michael Grant because he was really great because he was the lead guitar player. Then Tracy came back and he stayed in the band, but the guy that's there, and I apologize, I don't remember his name right off the bat, but he was great, and the whole band was excellent. It was funny because the bass player's an average sized guy, but when they set up the microphones on the stage, it was would be maybe a little higher than waist height. I'm thinking, they a little person playing bass. Johnny Monaco is the guitar player.
Who do you play with?
Enough's Enough.
I thought that's what they said.
But I want to say I don't think he is the guitar player from Enough's Enough that played on the Kiss Cruise. I don't think, because he doesn't look familiar. Because I definitely would remember him.
No, he's back when
back further. But he was just in another band right before that.
He's not an original guy. He's
Yeah.
like when after their first 3 or 4 albums, then we didn't, because that's a band that kept throwing out a bunch of albums.
Enough's Enough is great. They were fantastic on Kiss Cruise 6. All right. We're gonna wrap this up, you guys. Thank you for listening. We love everybody out there. You guys, all of our faithful listeners, we love you guys. All of our new listeners, thanks for tuning in. Hope you guys stick with us. You know, we're a little rough talking on this episode, but you know, we promise we should be back true to form for our next episode. So you guys, thank you for listening. We will catch you next time, and there will be a next time. Hey, you Potter Than Hellions. Welcome to the Potter Than Hell podcast. I'm Steve, your host. I'm joined this week with...
BC.
He forgot his name already. Oh, my God. We just started and he forgot his name. He was going to say my name.
You started pointing that way, and I was like, I thought you were going to go to... I was like,
Yeah,
Do over.
We'll start that over.
That on the end.
Chris. I was looking at Chris. Okay.
Well, I mean,
He didn't know what to do. That was funny.
You were gonna say his name.
Well,
I thought you were going to
but you start looking at
I'm
him.
here with Steve and Steve.
I thought he was going to
He
go
was sitting there next to BB said that.
Oh my God.
You start looking at him. I'm going, okay.
right.
And then you
This is like pretty
We're
much
gonna go to
every
the
show.
regulars first, and then we'll go to the guests.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jesus.
Um,
I always used to confuse Nelson with Hanson, and
Oh,
that's
geez,
really
no.
bad.
Oh, God, no. Don't do
It's
that.
not even close.
No, it's not.
give them
I think it's the two
I don't even know what
syllables
what to say to that.
The N ending. Yeah. I was like, for a split second, I'm like, Hanson's play, but no, it was Nelson.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Yes.
Listen, Mbop is a song of a generation.
Not my
I'm
generation.
going to plead the fifth.
Oh, BC has that CD. Don't let him bullshit you.
BC's a Hanson fan.
Yeah. In next.
I only have the live one.
Okay.